tonight at the time of the recording, I'll be watching the 1992 Peak Antifreeze 500 at Dover. Now, I've been watching every race in the 1992 season and giving my thoughts and opinions as I've been going back in history and checking out what went on with the 1992 season. I mean, I've read up on it, and I just was like, hey, I want to watch the entire season all the way through, and thankfully with YouTube I could do that. And it's been a great season so far, and with Dover's had really good races back in the 90s, and this will be my first time watching this one in particular. Now, this is race number 23, if I'm correct, of the season. It's getting close to the final race, getting close to that famous one at Atlanta, the championship event. And with where things stand in the moment, Bill Elliott was in the points lead heading into this race by around 100 points over Davey Allison. Alan Kulwicki was almost 200 back. Harry Gant had moved his way up into the picture. Same thing with Ricky Rudd and Mark Martin. Darrell Waltrip won 2 of the last 3 races. He won at Bristol and at Darlington, and previously Rusty Wallace won at Richmond. So, about to check this race out, and it's going to be really interesting. I'm looking forward to seeing this, and I hope y'all are too. I've had some internet issues tonight. I've had to restart the stream twice, and hopefully the internet doesn't cut out, so I'll be able to get this in and be able to have this edited and put it on YouTube. So let's just pray and hope that the internet doesn't cut out again. But anyways, let's go ahead and get right into this. Have some food with me too, some drinks. It's gonna be it's a long race. 500 laps at Dover. You don't see that nowadays. You see 400. And it's gonna be interesting. It's a packed, sold out crowd. I've already seen the pre-race when the internet cut out, so I will not be going back and watching the pre-race. Here we go. We're underway at Dover. I'm going to say, for prediction, I think Mark Martin and Rusty Wallace are going to win.
On the start of the race.
And Kulwicki, the pole sitter, goes into the lead. But here comes Mark to the inside. He wants to get the lead here. That was a nice run. He's going to pass him. Mark Martin goes out front.
There comes Dale Earnhardt up in the third. Now, why would Alan Kulwicki run so hard on the first lap?
And Rusty Wallace is falling back. Davey Allison started towards the rear, so he's going to have to work his way up.
Yeah, he can adjust after a while. He was glad to get that 5 points on the first lap, but he may not lead it for a little while now.
1 of 2 Jack Roush Fords in the race. Mark Martin on the point. Wally Dallenbach drives the other. Ford's running 1-2. Terry Labonte in third. Up to a moment ago when Earnhardt went past. Ford
nice review from Mark Martin.
Mark Martin's car.
Considering how long this race is, I'm going to skip through the caution periods because of the time reasons, and I'm also going to predict how many cautions there might be. I think there'll probably end up being 8, and I'm sure there'll be at least 3 wrecks, maybe 4. The first Dover race earlier on in the season, that was really exciting to watch, so I'm sure this one will be too.
But you can't wait too long because he's really dropping back and hurting.
This is a great onboard view. A lot of onboard views. I could use through the onboards account I run with Mike.
Most drivers qualifying here on Friday afternoon. You don't need a wiggle right now because it's just 400.
Nice run off the corner. He's going to get under Shepard.
Behind Davy's car as he makes the pass on Shepard.
Yeah, well, it looks like Davy's car is handling good down the straightaway again today.
Yeah, I think I walked through the garage and talked to Robert Yates, and they had trouble qualifying and all this, so they worked on. They finally did one thing and it seemed like it straightened them out, and they're running good again now. Up front, Martin and Kulwicki keep close tabs on one another.
You know what might have happened
And
there?
Quakey's staying with him, though. He's not letting him get away. But those two have shot out up front, and there's Dale Earnhardt's in
They're pretty
third.
equal now. As far as him running away like everybody thought he was going to do, he's going to have to work just to stay ahead of Kwilyt.
I don't know why it keeps lagging like that.
It's
kind of worrisome. It makes me feel like the internet's going to go out.
He went through 3 the first race.
I'm going to try to check the chat through my phone
Trying to finish 2 races in Dover.
in case there isn't anyone in the chat, because I can't see it on my screen.
They need to scare him every week.
At least for a lap. We see the distance back to Earnhardt in third, and now Ricky Rudd, who runs very well here at Dover, has picked up the 4th spot. In fact, Ricky has had a couple of good runs these last few weeks, Darlington and at Richmond. Had a chance to win at both tracks. There's Richard Petty working under Rick Mast. Mike Waltrip right behind, and then Davey Allison.
Yeah, it's lagging on my phone, so that's not a good sign, but
The outside crew taken
hopefully I'll be able to get this up on YouTube.
They trail Richard Petty. Richard
The other ones I didn't have any problems with getting up on
YouTube,
YouTube, but I also record those in the middle of the day, and it's at night. More people are on the internet, and I have to share the internet here in my rental house, so could be a little bit of an issue. But I'm also recording this,
Rick Mast
so
way up, and they got 3 wide as Mike Waltrip had a bobble there.
oh, here's Rick Mast was starting 10. It seems like he's falling back a little bit, and then Ernie Irvin started towards the rear too. Whoa, who's slow there?
Mike Waltrip's off the pace. He'll come to pit road.
Is that Michael Waltrip? Man, he hasn't had any luck recently. Michael Waltrip's just been having a lot of mechanical issues, and he wrecked at Richmond.
The 5th place car here at Dover.
10 laps of 500 are in the books.
Makes the pit stop. We'll be
I
right
mentioned when I was watching the pre-race that Terry Labonte, he struggled a little bit recently, but
back and we're under
he had a great start to the
here at
season.
Dover down. Kenny Schrader had a spin up in turn 2.
Oh, well, we're under caution. Smith
He's
TV thankfully cut out the commercials, but Ken Schrader apparently hit the wall here.
At lap 14. Let's have a look at what happened to Schrader down in turns 1 and 2.
Okay, they go down in here. He goes in extremely hard, and you see the back end of the car coming out.
Hey, he
right
just
there.
got loose.
It's history from there on. He's along for the ride now. Everybody was able to miss him.
This was around the, wow, Sterling Bond got to the back of Bill Elliott, his
Bill
teammate,
Elliott just missed him on the low side, so did Sterling Martin.
and then pow, the Monster Miles
Boy, he hit hard
claims
there.
its
When you
first
hit flat
victim
like
of the
that, It
race.
don't look like it hit that hard, but that car took
Some
a pretty good
oranges.
whack.
I'm gonna eat those.
So Schrader is on pit road, as is Rick Mast. And they're getting waved off.
Because of the line. He's over the line right there. See the man pointing down at the white line? He's got the nose hanging over the line. If you go ahead and do the pit stop, they're going to put him back a lap, but that's not the... That's
Wow,
the
he's over the line, and he's official's like, no.
Okay, signal, so...
Why is Rick Mast down pit road?
Well, both left side tires are flat, so he has to change those, and they really...
And Schrader's going to lose a lot of...
They need to work on
He's
that
going to
car,
lose
make
at
sure
least
the
3
fenders
laps
don't
under
drag,
this
do the same
caution.
thing again.
He squared it up, and that looked like a left rear wheel would possibly rub
The
real
9
hard.
car was on pit road, too. Other than Mast.
There we go. There we go.
Well, he's still on the lead lap. And they'll send him out. They may bring him back in. 51 seconds on pit road. Of course, we are under caution. And Schrader stays on the lead lap.
What you got to wonder about is something like that. Maybe they get the sheet metal off, but you can see when you hit the wall how the wheels were turned around. That toe-in stuff, all the steering components on there, they take that kind of look, you usually bend something.
And on Michael Waltrip, his stop a while ago, he had a flat right front while he stopped.
Mike Waltrip has fallen up 1 lap down. That's Elmo Cam.
Elmo Langley, the pace car
for
driver.
NASCAR.
Skip ahead.
We want you to be part of the telecast. Again, that number is 1-800.
This kind of gave me PTSD earlier as it wasn't moving,
telecast.
and it buffered, and I think that was one reason why the stream cut off. So hopefully that keeps moving forwards. Dale Earnhardt's on the back bumper of Ricky. He might try to get underneath him here if he could. Ricky Rudd's moved up to 4th. Oh, Earnhardt right on his bumper almost.
And Dale, he makes that car a present, doesn't he?
Oh, he may have hit him there. It looked like Quickie got loose.
Down the corner there,
And
Yeah,
Quickie's
David,
blocking the
put a lot
bottom
of
lane
stuff
like he
on the
should.
corner. Loosen it up, right on. Trying his best to get up under it there.
Trickle got loose there.
Slipped
He's
down
in
the line a
fifth.
little bit.
Jeff Bodin's going to get by him. Dale Jarrett's moved up. He's
Slipped
trying to
down
get by
the line,
Labonte.
slowed back a little bit.
Dick Trick was the fifth-place car. Jeff Bodine just getting past him. 4 of the front 6 cars.
It's crazy now looking back at the way Dover used to look like. There was grass in the front stretch and the back stretch, and there was no fence in turn 3.
But he did not come in during that caution.
Or part of turn
like
3.
he's pushing in the center of the corner. See him telling him go by. I got problems with this thing to allow just on it.
Buddy, people
He's
don't
saying,
know
"Go
what's
by
going on.
me."
You and I've done it a lot. You motion to the inside. Buddy said, I'll give you the inside. You see Kyle's already by. He motioned to
And
the
Kyle
inside.
Petty
He goes
is
to
on the
get inside or
move, and
outside.
Rusty Moss
told him
is
where he wanted to clear him at.
not as fast at the moment.
Now, folks have wondered why you do something like that. Why wave a guy by? But I guess if you can send him past at a point and in a manner where it doesn't slow down either car, you're doing both of yourselves a favor.
Well, the other thing, you give a little common courtesy like that. You don't hold the guy
And Mark
up
Martin's
faster.
pulling
He'll
away
remember
here
that
with the
thing in
lead
middle part of
at the
race, and he
moment.
might be adjusted where he's much
Earnhardt's
better than
under
he does.
attack for third.
The tomato drop ball or whatever. A little different than that.
There's a lot of debris, it seemed like, in turn
Darrell
1.
Waltrip in 15th behind Ted Musgrave.
Davey Allison
55.
started towards the back. He's trying to work
Ford
his
and
way
Bobby
up. and-
Hamilton moving up to give his Nashville neighbor a
Wow,
hello.
Hamilton just goes right by
comes Davey.
DW there. DW's falling like a rock at the
Wow.
moment.
Moving up in the wrong direction.
Darrell looks bad. Davey looks pretty good going by. He's really happy.
There goes Morgan Shepherd trying to get underneath. I don't know what car is behind
Jimmy
Waltrip.
Dunleavy car with Hut Strickland right behind Darrell.
Ladies had just marched into the front. They had a terrible ball by the time. He's just been sticking his way to the front. Jake told me before the race started, he said, we got this thing running, and it certainly looks like it.
Davey up to
Seems like
17th
there's a
spot.
lag on the video. I don't know if that has something to do with the way it's edited on here, or if it's my internet or what. So I do apologize for that.
Morgan Shepherd in the Wood Brothers car. Pulling up now behind Waltrip.
Here's Davey by Hamilton.
Move back up where Davey Allison gets underneath Bobby Hamilton. That's at 16th position.
That 28 car.
Allison started like 29th or something like that, so he's moving up. He's passed
Go
most
further
cars
up,
so
Dale
far in the
Jarrett has
race.
moved up
In the
ahead of
race.
Jeff Bodine. Excuse me. Ahead of Bill Elliott. Or ahead of Jeff Bodine. There's Jeff Bodine up behind Ricky Rudd.
Now, Jeff Bodine's had an interesting season. Like, there's been some races where he's done good, and there's been some races where he was a lot down. He's just being a roadblock on the leaders and just causing trouble. But he hasn't had a win so far this season in the 15 car.
Jarrett is 7th. Elliott, the points leader, is 8th. With Junior Johnson, stablemate Sterling Marlin right behind. Then Brett Bodine.
And you see the stands, it's just packed. Like, you don't see that nowadays at Dover or any track like outside of Daytona or Talladega or Charlotte or Bristol. You don't see it this packed anymore. It's crazy. Like, from the races I've seen this season from the 1992 year, I
They're
mean,
running 3 seconds behind
every
the leader.
race it seemed like was just packed out. Like, there's just the whole stands are filled, the infield's full of campers and fans trying to stand to get the best view. You don't see that nowadays.
Kyle started 16th and was moved up a bit. Labonte started
Yeah,
4th.
Kyle Petty's been a big mover too. He is a fast car. See if he can get the win today. Or then. Well, you know what I'm saying.
You know, it used to be here at Dover that real early in the race, you'd see cars up in the middle of the racetrack and Harry Gann up there in that lonely groove scraping the Dover Downs paint off the wall. And now, look at how everybody's right on the bottom.
Mike, I'm telling you, they might as well, that last 20 foot, they can put grandstands up there. It's almost unusable. They might as well put a new wall and put some seats there, because you get on the top of the racetrack, you're going for a ride. The bottom is the place to run, and if you get up there high, you're going to slip and slide.
Here's Kenny Schrader back back
Wow.
on the speedway, moving well.
You can
Past
see
Derek Cope.
he got new tires. I mean, he didn't hit the wall too
And
hard,
continues on the
but
lead
with the new
lap.
tires, he seems
Chase
pretty
Hilton and Mike
fast.
Waltrip are the only lap starters.
Even though it's not that long of a green flag run.
Well, Schrader's car, you know, when he hit the wall, we thought he might have a lot of problems. He's coming on back. It takes a little while to get the confidence back. If you wreck a car that bad, to see if it still feels good enough to run hard.
Well, the one thing he's got in his very favor right now, he's stopped and got 4 tires too.
Third place has changed hands. Jeff Bodine has moved around Dale Earnhardt. And Dick Trickle is right there in the Snickers Ford.
It makes it 3 Fords up front. And Trickle right behind Earnhardt. We'll see those guys work their way to the front.
Yeah,
And
Earnhardt
Ricky Rudd
seems
right
to
with
be
them.
falling back a little bit. He was third at one
Past Earnhardt,
point.
he's taken off, headed for Alan Kowicki. Jeff Bodine announced yesterday he has re-signed for next season with Bud Moore and the Motorcraft people. He'll be back behind the wheel of one of us.
There goes Trickle to the inside. Trickle's had some good races this season. I mean, doing much better than I thought he would with the 8 car. It's been pretty strong, especially at mile-and-a-half tracks.
Everybody gels to get a little bit better. And when they said they're ready to go racing, now look, all of a sudden the car should be running.
This has always been a good track for Bud. I think Ricky Rudd won here for him. Bobby
Yeah, I don't know why he keeps lagging like that.
His car
But
to victory here. 30 years with Ford as a car owner. Both in Winston Cup and in Trans Am racing.
yeah, it's just lagging. I don't know why, but I
Ricky
do
Rudd now
apologize
right
for
there,
those.
Working Earnhardt.
Jeff Bodine just went by the Hooter car right down in the middle of the corner. And he
If I had the video already downloaded and reacted to it that way, that'd be great. But I don't have that I don't have the ability to do that right now.
A little bit
So.
slower than normal through the middle part of the corner. He may have a pushing condition.
You saw how Trickle was able to just open up the distance on him right there in one corner.
You know, there's Earnhardt and Rudd with the Chevrolet contingent. They're racing themselves to death back there, and they're way back in 5th place. So, boy, these other guys are giving them a fit right now.
Back there was 3rd place a minute ago, and now it's back at 5th. Behind them in 6th is Rudd. 7th is Dale Jarrett.
I kind of mentioned this a little bit earlier, but
And 8th is
I
Bill
can't see
Elliott.
the chat at the moment, so
36
if there is
laps
any
complete.
comments, I'll
Here
read
it's
them
over
through
now.
my phone, and I'll respond to them if I can.
Mark Martin leads by 1.2 seconds over Jeff Bodine.
Oh yeah,
Look at the top 10.
the music.
We'll be back after this.
Looks like they're under caution again, for some reason.
Jarrett about to
Oh,
get
yeah,
busy down
we
on
had a
pit
wreck,
road
the
as
12
Jeff
car.
Mervin has spun the Bobby Allison Ray Vestas Ford to bring out the 2nd caution of the day at lap 42. And this time, I think we'll see most of the front runners on pit road.
We're at 40-something laps, so that's about almost halfway on the fuel stop, so we're just about certain they're coming in.
Yeah, it's glitching on my phone, so I don't know
Look
if
at what
that
happened to
means.
Purvis.
Well, that's a little late. He
Their
actually
net's
went in
gone
the
out or
corner,
what?
and they got a lot of build-up now because everybody's
Okay,
running
it
right
looked like
on
he
bottom
just
of the
got
racetrack.
loose.
So the rubber
just
began
spun
to
out.
build up in the higher part of the racetrack. He got up there and it spun him out.
Luckily enough, he didn't hit anything, and we've seen a couple of cars spin and still be in a race. That's unusual for Dover. Usually with spinach, you have a bunch of junk left.
I was just going to say that car's been backwards about 3/4 of a mile this week
Purvis is in
already.
the 12.
He spun on
Hutch
the
Strickland, I
qualifying
thought,
lap
was
here
in the
first
12
round
car for
qualifying.
some this
Spun out of
season.
turn 4, made a loop, came across the line sideways, still out-qualified several drivers.
Here they all come.
Do a little action down here now.
Everybody on the lead lap eligible to pit this time around, and that includes all but 2 cars.
All right, pit stops. I'm just texting somebody real quick.
2 wheel marks on Alan Kowicki's car. There's Paul Andrews. That gang goes to work.
With 4 tires, the guys already got the look. That's off the left side. Same thing here. They're going forward.
Martin looks like they're going with scuffs on his car.
See the wheel marks on the side of Mark Martin? Those we just saw on Quickies. That was the very first lap of the race. We said they got together and it kind of divided the left side of this one and the right side of Quickies.
Match set. Real quick pit stops for Ricky Rudd and Dick Trickle.
Yeah.
Get them out near the front
So,
line.
wow,
But
Jeff
it's gonna be
Bodine got off
Earnhardt
third.
behind Mark Martin.
Quickie had a slow stop.
Right there in front.
And the reason for that is Earnhardt, as Winston Cup champion, has first choice of pit position. He pits all the way down the end of pit road, and all he has to do is scoot across that line in front of Jimmy Cox to get his place in line. Steve Evans.
Well, those were scrub tires.
I'm going to skip ahead.
20 of those, and only about 7 or 8 of the used cooler when they got a broken tire.
Yeah, and they also like to keep that. They like to have all that.
Take a moment to tell you about the Gillette win contest for the Goodies 500 next week in Martinsville by riding the Gillette Halfway Challenge Box 2246 St. Petersburg, Florida. You must be 18 years of age or over, and they must have your entry by next Saturday. Good luck.
I mentioned this the last time I was reacting to a race on stream, was the 1992 Pocono race, and they were doing a halfway challenge. I kind of explained how that worked.
He has moved up to 15th position with running laps at 25.68 before the...
It's crazy, they've been going under caution for a minute. I mean, it was just a little spin.
Take it back through the field after this round of pit stops. Martin Earnhardt with that quick stop. Jeff Bodine in third, Ricky Rudd and Dick Trickle.
You know, I thought the Pocono reaction was long when I watched that. Man, it's going to be longer than that, so hopefully, I mean, I will probably fall asleep.
Jared Shepard and Irvin.
I hardly ever fall asleep when I watch races, but I just, it's just going to be, by the time this ends, it'll be late at night. It'll be like past midnight, so.
He is 20th. Also on the lead lap.
I'm kind of exhausted from watching it because I'm wearing the hat too, and
Rick Bass and
I don't have my air conditioning on when I react to do any of my videos because it makes a lot of noise.
Going with scuff tires. Glenn Jarrett just called up and he said that
It's fine with Michael Walker. He already had a tire issue. Now he may have an
they're
engine
just playing
problem.
some games right now. Trying sometimes stickers are quicker, sometimes a little scuff. So they're just playing with them now.
On our 800 line, you see the NASCAR officials there arrayed in white. One of our viewers called in, how many officials per pit does NASCAR use along pit road? And generally, there's an official stationed in every other pit along the pit lane. So they can pretty well cover what goes on pit road, mainly from a safety aspect, to make sure that the stops are safe, all the lug nuts are on, the drivers are in their own pit to cover any of the green.
All right, back green.
Martin brings across, green flag at lap 46.
Dale Earnhardt's in second now, and he's making a charge for the lead.
Purvis has split the field.
Earnhardt uses the bumper. He's bumping him, and he's going to take the lead. Mark Marr got bumped out of the lead by Dale. I'm sure the crowd enjoyed that, because, you know, Dale hasn't been up front recently, and him being up front's pretty cool to see, because he had such a off year in 1992 and a lot of mechanical issues.
The third race that Earnhardt has led since they were here or in June rather. That's 12 races.
He used the bumper to get the lead from Mark Martin, so the man in black is out front at the moment, and they're running away from everyone else. Everyone else is farther on back than the last restart.
Characteristic to see that car out of the top spot for so long.
Oh, and Mark Martin got right back by him. Earnhardt just left the bottom lane open, and Mark just muscled right by him without using the bumper. Mark clearly has the fastest car so far this race, other than Kyle Petty, and we've seen Ricky Rudd pretty strong, and Davey Allison's been working his way up too.
Mark Martin has just served notice to the field that he is the man to beat today.
Oh, he's been strong. Darlington is the fastest car also.
It's hard to tell who's in third at the moment, but it might be Jeff O'Donnell. Yep.
See how long it
There's
takes.
Ricky Rudd and copyright music, so I'm have to mute. Alright, Quick, he's sixth. Quickie moved, okay, he had fell back, but he's now in sixth, and is this a commercial, or?
And when you need parts,
Yeah, it is. I thought he edited out the commercials, but it's fine.
Welcome back to Dover Down. Watching Dick Trickle, Alan Cole.
Use it, bro. I don't want to get copyrighted. Spare me.
This race for fifth position. Just past the 10% mark here.
The 10% mark.
Bill Elliott, a part of that pack as well.
I need to look at my clock, see what time it is.
One of the best battles
It's
on the
almost
racetrack.
10
We went to
o'clock
break. We
Eastern
spoke of Ernie
time.
Irvin and how well he'd been running before the caution. He and Davey Allison have been bumper to bumper, and Neil, you said they were about toe-to-toe last week at Richmond for a bit.
Yeah, they got together a little bit at Richmond. It was a little heated up over it, and Ernie and Davey, they've been beating on each other pretty good the last few laps. Ernie got up there, and they were shoving each other
Ernie
around.
Irvin and Davey Allison started towards the back, and they've been making their way up to the front.
Allison, 12th is Irvin. Just behind Sterling.
And Dover just, I don't know about y'all, but it's just like the way Dover used to look back in the 90s, I thought was way better than now. Even though there is that tunnel that they added, I want to say they added the tunnel above turn 1 and 2, or off turn 2. Basically, I want to say they added that in the early 2000s, but I may be wrong. But even though they didn't have that in the 90s, this track looked way better. I don't know, it's just the way the grass, like there's a little bit of grass in the front stretch, and the corners off of turn 1 and 2, it's just, you just tell that you know what groove to choose, and it's just an interesting track, you know.
Made a couple of shots at the passing to get by.
You know, I probably stammer my words a lot, but it's late, so allow it.
Here, David, get in and out of the gas. You get in it just a little bit too quick here, and it starts shoving the nose. You roll out of the gas, hook them back up, mash your gas again. He's got the luxury, buddy,
cool
of a motor.
onboard
You
view.
get out and back in a few times, and it still runs.
Right, and the car will carry the left front all the way down the straightaway if it really wants it to.
Yeah, got a lot of horsepower to deal with.
That group is catching the Dick Trickle, Alan Kulwicki, Kyle Petty, and Bill Elliott fan.
I think that's one of the keys, Mike. Whenever
There's a slow car on the inside. I wonder whose car is that.
These three Fords were all over, just like we see them right now.
I guess his, that might be James Holden's car, but I may be wrong.
They're going to the front, but they get a little antsy and they want to pass each other out there. It slows all of them down.
With Davey Allison.
Brad Dime does a good job in that car. Good steady run. He's always up in the top 5. There's nothing wrong with the car, and he's just doing a real good job.
He got a little loose off the corner. He hasn't been able to get by Brett Bodine.
Yes, the time of year you start hearing all these rumors.
Just shows you how crucial the inside line was on short tracks back in the day.
Bodine back up for the season, and you just speculate. You hear who's hooked up the road for next season.
This is the time of the year you don't want the car owner to come up and say, if I was you, I'd be looking around a little bit.
No, I believe Brett Petty in the car for next year.
And for those that, you've probably seen this, but the broadcast network for this race was TNN.
Bill Elliott underneath.
So Mike Joy was on the crew. There was no Bonnet. My mind went blank for who else is speaking at the moment, so I do apologize for that. There might be more people.
What happens is now
We'll end up hearing it probably later on in the stream, so.
once you lose that preferred line, you just can't get back down there.
You know, I
No
think we
biggie.
heard something earlier. There's always been all these
Kyle
teams
Petty
have been good running teams.
got a little bit out of the groove there. Now he's stuck on the outside.
Used to have about 3-4 good Fords. Now there's 8 or 10 of them.
The rumor mill, we haven't seen all of it yet. There's still, Ford Motor Company supposedly still offering some more of the major GM teams to switch over. So
Leaders should be getting some black cards soon.
Chevrolet, Ford. Right now, Ford is one of the guys that's really pushing pieces out there for him to race with, and then showing up on the racetrack. Some of the major General Motors teams.
Yeah, Harry Gannon started in the back too. I don't know where he's at the moment.
Former winner here, Derek Cope, is being pursued by a man who knows the way to victory lane here, Harry Gannon.
It's just a little early for Harry to let you know what he's got yet. He's still watching everybody and kind of plotting his way to the front.
There might be a lot of teams that would be nervous about your driver being 17th, but they got old Harry right where they want him.
Yeah, about 400 laps before we ought to see him. They better get going, though, because Mark Martin has opened up a 1.6-second lead on the rest of this field. He is not waiting around. But how many times have we seen on this racetrack a car jump out like a jackrabbit, and then things change?
Oh wow, we had a big lag there on the video. Hopefully there's no problem with the internet involved with that.
It changes all day long. Just see different guys lead.
They lap past Mike Potter's car. 68 laps complete here at Dover Downs. Mark
On to another commercial. I'm going to mute that because there's music. Alright, so same as it was the last couple laps. Okay.
Are complete.
Back here.
12th place battle has Kyle Petty and
Shout out to Smith TV too. I mean, his channel is just so cool, and you know, he has so many races he's uploaded that if it weren't for him, you know, I don't think any of those videos would be out. And for NASCAR fans to go back and look at, you know, he's uploaded lots of old NASCAR races that I've seen over the years. A lot of them for the 1992 season. Oh, wow. Bill Elliott just moved Cwilyt out of the way.
Left rear quarter panel and got Cwilyt just loose.
I mean, they are battling for points. But Davies about past Cwilyt too. Cwilyt needs these points. He's falling back though.
There's Allen stuck in that high groove.
I'm sure he's probably not too happy with Bill for doing that.
Cwilyt is going to drop all the way to 11 before he gets back in line.
That looks like Darrell and Neil when they were teammates with the Junior Johnson cars. That's you in front, Neil.
Oh, okay, thank you. I thought you meant doing the bumping.
There's the halfway challenge thing again.
Halfway challenge coming up here in a mere 175 more laps. Our halfway winner gets $10,000 and you can win the Chevrolet Aluminum. New contest next week in Martinsville. The Goodies 500. Send your entry to Gillette Halfway Challenge, Box 2246. St. Petersburg, Florida 33731. You must be 18 or over, and they need your entry by next Saturday, and they could be calling you next Sunday. The Junior Johnson cars running 6th and 7th. Also remind you, we are getting a lot of questions on our 800 number. If you have questions about this race, 1-800-451-7331. If you have general questions like why some cars earn more money finishing behind others, we prefer you send them to Inside Winston Cup Racing. They can deal with that better on a racing format.
That's kind of funny.
We'd be happy to answer. Here's a timely one.
I don't think that's still a thing now. Now you just see it on social media. People complaining or questioning NASCAR and every single thing. You see it on social media now instead of through letters or emails.
Maybe they could loan them some. No, Patricia, don't think that has much to do with it. Let's go back about 11th spot here, where Alan Kulwicki now has dropped into line behind Ernie Irvin and is trying to hang on there. There's Mike Waltrip from Pennzoil Pontiac. He's a lap down, and Kulwicki's back in line, but that one little bump from Bill Elliott sent him back, what, 4 spots?
Yeah, it did.
Well, Michael's having a horrible time. He's made about 3 or 4 pit stops on the right.
Yeah, Michael Waltrip, man, he's just had the worst luck this season. He's had some good races, and then just stuff happened to him. And taking out wrecks or just a blown engine.
Napa Field standing update to this point.
It's crazy.
Brought to you by Napa, because there are no unimportant parts.
It's an interesting screen. I didn't see this. Well, never mind. They have shown this screen in the other races this season, but it's only TNN, I think, will use this.
They have an average year, and everybody thinks they just absolutely deteriorated.
Well, just
Kyle
like
Petty's in
running
12th.
second right now, and everybody
Russ
said,
Boss
"What's wrong?"
13th.
You know, when you get so dominant and so used to lead races, when you don't lead them, boy, they start second guessing.
Ted Musgrave 16th. That's not too bad. Harry Gantz 18th. Darrell Waltrip fell all the way to 19th, so that's not good for him. Terry Labonte was up there. He's now all the way back there in 20th. I'm surprised Ken Schroeder, despite that wreck, is actually on the lead lap, I think.
Did you make adjustments into 13th, or are you just that fast? He wrote that. We are a little off, not bad, could have a good run. So I'm trying to hang around crew chief and have particularly good penmanship.
Fill out that postcard. Weather is here. Wish you were beautiful. Signed.
I wonder what happened to Graham Taylor while he's out of the race. He probably had some mechanical issue.
Been tracking him like that for about the last 15 laps here.
Well, that might they said it was off just a little bit. That might have been the reason when he was on fresh tires. He was running all over the top of Davey, and now that the thing's got a little bit warmer tires, he sees that he's got to adjust the car and get it a little bit better under it.
If they're off, they're not that far off, and neither is Earnhardt. Our statistician, Greg Fielder, tells us he's only 0.9 seconds, 9/10 of a second behind Mark Martin, and closing a little bit each lap.
He might have heard the question while ago and stepped up the base.
If this does go on YouTube, if you're new to my YouTube channel, I encourage you to like and subscribe. subscribe. I'd really appreciate it. I'm getting close to 500 subs, so if you could help me out, help me get there as soon as possible, you know, share my channel around, I greatly appreciate it, you know, because it's been hard to grow on YouTube recently, and because my videos haven't been getting recommended out to anybody, and it's just been really hard to grow over the past couple weeks.
88 laps complete here at Dover Downs with the Peak Antifreeze 500, presented by Pet Boys. Mark Martin, class of the field. Dale Earnhardt closing in. Jeff Bodine, strong run for one more car in third. Ricky Rudd having a good day here in fourth. And Dick Trickle in the fifth spot.
Davey Austin's ninth, Brett Bodine's eighth. I wonder where Quickie is. He's at least 14th.
That's the way they run here at Dover Downs.
And Bobby Hamilton's about to go lap down. Man, Mark is just so fast compared to everyone else at the moment.
Earnhardt was closing in. They were on top of it. There's Mark Martin right there. Just a short way back. Earnhardt is noticeably closing in on him now.
Earnhart now 0.8 of a second behind the leader.
Okay, so Earnhardt is closing on Mark, though. He led for like a lap or two, and then Mark went back by him after the last restart.
From Davy's car.
Davey just hasn't seemed to be able to get by Bodine for some reason.
That straightaway, bank 9 degrees. Ray from Alabama called in, asked if there's any advantage or disadvantage to the race cars to have the straightaway bank.
Yeah, the straightaway banks I've always thought were kind of interesting.
The car is already set to go in the corner. It's better.
Dover's like one of the only tracks that has a straightaway that's like near the finish line that's banked.
Down in the corner here.
Oh, Kwickie's in the wall. Wow, that was a hard hit.
Ruining his second car of the weekend.
Wow.
In a big way.
So Kwickie, he was needing points to get back into this thing, is now in trouble. That car's junk too.
Kwickie, the pole sitter, brings out the third caution at lap 93.
Yeah, he pounded the wall.
He pasted the wall. A hard lick.
Cole Winston failed to finish 5 of 22 races.
Failed to finish 5 times this year. And this race has scarcely ever been won from the pole.
I know one of those was, one of those 5 was Sterling Marlin at Bristol the first time I did a reaction on stream to the 1992 season.
Climbing out.
I know he probably got the wind knocked out of him
right there when they got
from that hit.
over to that one. Mandatory to go get checked, but he's okay.
Owns that car as well as drives it, runs his own race team. And in 2 trips here to Dover, they have totaled 4 cars. Kwickie came into this race only 164 points behind Bill Elliott. For the
See what caused this. Maybe he came down on the 9 car.
They have contact right
yeah,
there.
he had contact with the 9 of Chad Little.
Hard to say if Kwickie was coming down, the 9's going up. But they did touch. Got him turned around backwards.
It just misjudged it.
Wow, I'm telling you, that is a hard lick. Look at that car get back up in that wall. It looked like a magnet on it.
What kind of lucky charm was Kyle Petty and Dale Jarrett carrying there? And Rusty.
There's Rusty coming under with him.
Yeah.
And he's going to cross traffic. This big banking on this thing.
You know, you would think with the cars nowadays, if they got hit like that, they wouldn't shoot to the outside wall. They would like spin to the inside and collect more cars.
They made contact
But
there.
with Kwickie's car, it just went straight to the top of the track.
And away he went.
Everybody hit by the apron.
A lot of activity on pit lane during this caution. Let's have a look at it from the in-car camera of Rusty Wallace.
Oh, this ought to be good. Yeah, you can't really see much in that situation. You just hope that he's not going to come back down the track
There was Morgan coming through
in front of you, you know.
Steve Evans.
There goes the 7 crew going to try to work on the car.
The guys, they are not quitting. They are moving their toolbox, their hammers, pry bars, everything to the garage
Yeah, every
area,
position counts, especially in the tight points race that has been this season.
What the damage is, but obviously they're expecting it to be severe.
Bring big tools would be our advice.
I'm telling you, I'm just glad to see him okay.
Dale!
94 laps complete. Dale Earnhardt won.
Let's skip ahead.
Little duty. You can hear stumbling just a little bit in trail. We saw Alan Cwilyt get out of the ambulance. He needed a little help. He was stumbling just a little bit, not seriously hurt. A lot of that may have been more emotional than anything else. After all, this was his 5th race car to be badly banged up, if not totaled, here at Dover. Again, Alan Cwilyt not seriously injured, but certainly needs the rest and relaxation in there.
Have a look at the race so far. Earnhardt is the leader. He's led 3 laps. Mark Martin's led most of the way. 22 cars still on the lead lap. 4 lead changes among 3 drivers. Cwilyt, Martin,
so Mark must have pitted under the
third caution of the day. We'll
or they must have all pitted and Earnhardt got the lead back.
Pit road speed for Jill of Texas who called in. We neglected to mention 40 miles an hour. And the pace car runs the same speed around this racetrack, 40 miles an hour. There's the Elmo cam looking out the back of the safety car.
Elmo.
On pit road, they came in together. Dale Earnhardt put on 4 scuffs. Martin put on stickers.
I'll be right back.
Also, Martin had the crew make a chassis adjustment. The car was a little too tight. That chassis adjustment cost him position on the racetrack. Earnhardt beat him out of the pits. Earnhardt says, or Childers says that on Earnhardt's car, they're trying scuffs early in the race. They're saving a set for later on. They want to see which is best. Mike Joy?
Thanks, Glenn. We're ready to go back to green here at 97 laps. Deal with a few more of your questions on the 800 line here in a minute. But right now, let's get back to business. Earnhardt, Martin, Bodine, that's Jeff Bodine, Bill Elliott, and Ricky Rudd. And in the garage, Alan Cwilyt trying to hang on to 3rd place in the points and stay in this championship run.
We're back underway.
Jeff Bodine dropping to the inside from 3rd spot behind the Cale Yarborough car, Jimmy Hensley Award, and nothing there. He'll hold that 3rd spot as the 2 leaders scoot away a little bit.
You know, in the very start a while ago, Earnhardt was able for a lap or 2 to stay with him. Then he faded back, and then he started reeling in again. But Mark made a chassis adjustment. You wonder why the guy leading the race make a chassis adjustment. He feels like he can get that car better. If he does, it's going to be tough to handle him.
I'd say all the crews right now are going to school on these 2 cars because they need to know with 10 or 15 laps to go if they have a car.
I'm asking someone new. I'm asking Mike to see if this stream has been cutting out.
Front 3 tight together.
If not, then that's awesome. So I'll be able to get it on YouTube. If it keeps cutting out, I don't know if I'll be able to get this on YouTube.
Just went by ahead of the leader. Hamilton changed a full set of spark plugs during that pit stop and got back on the lead lap.
How good Jeff Bodine's car sticking to the bottom of the racetrack. He's tough at this racetrack. He's going to be a factor, I believe, all day.
He's been moving on up there, and he's putting a lot of pressure on him.
Yeah, he is.
Right, we saw him get right up under Mark. Mark slid out coming off too, so give Mark a little bit of trouble.
Bodine has won here back several years ago, 1986, and his car owner Bud Moore has been to victory lane 4 times here at Dover.
Not too bad.
Looking at 3rd place from Mark Martin's car. Let's go back to 11th place, Kyle Petty and Ernie Irvin. Look, Ernie, you run 20, 30 laps, caution comes out, everyone makes stops, you come right out, you're battling the exact same guy that you were fighting with before the caution. Bill Elliott and Ricky Rudd are right in there in this race for the lead.
You know,
Jeff Bodine's in 3rd. See, I'll say it's Bill Elliott's in 4th. Dropped by Ricky Rudd.
You know, Mark said he made a chassis.
See, Earnhardt has led like every once in a while in some races, but he's only had 1 win, and that was the Coke 600.
Go back where you're at. I don't know if Mark is as strong right now.
Why does he keep cutting out like that?
They might have to go back and put the car back to where it
Why
was
is doing
before.
that?
And 2, Bodine is all over him, so he's doing a little mirror
Well, we're around 1/5 through the race, so it's 20% through. Still got a long way to go.
5, you'll see Dick Trickle, Brett Bodine, Davey Allison, Sterling Marlin, and then that Kyle Petty, Ernie Irvin battle.
I'll tell you something else, Bill Elliott moved right in there. He's right up in the fight now.
He's doing well at this racetrack.
Anybody that thinks it's in the team sport, just look at that. Bill
And
Elliott
Hamilton had a strong car early, but it seems like he's now just his car's faded away. He's like 2 laps down now.
One by one. 17th. Racing with Derek Cope.
Seems to like that number, doesn't he? He's talking about about you going in and out.
And Rusty Wallace has fallen back.
End up racing the same people
Too.
over. Harry was 17th before. Right where
He was up there, and he had a strong car. He was up in the top 5 at the beginning of the race. I forgot where his starting position was,
And
but
pulling right up on Russell
he's
Wallace.
just falling
Well,
back.
that's Harry. Now, he won't hesitate to try that outside line. We talked about earlier about that part of the track might not be usable. If anybody can cut it in and wear it in where they can race on it, Leanne will be the guy that tries it. There he goes out there. You know, 2 car lengths higher than anybody on the racetrack. He'll try it all day.
High Groove Harry, they called him here for years at Dover.
High Groove Harry? I haven't heard that one before. I've heard of Handsome Harry, but not High Groove Harry.
Rusty car might come in handy because Harry is going to take the outside.
That was it, Harry.
What was that?
Blurred the vision. He was out there a little bit, I believe.
Neil, how about this guy we're working with, High Groove Harry?
Yeah. I'd hate to hear what he called me back when I was slipping and sliding there with
I'm surprised Bobby Dombeck Jr. got by
You remember those
Terry
races, 'cause
Labonte.
you were in most of them. You run right around the bottom of the racetrack. Harry take the long way around the mile and a quarter up on the wall, and he'd still be every bit as fast.
Yeah, but I'd run 500 miles. He'd run 550 before.
Right, that's right.
It looks like Harry Gant's going to get by Wallace.
Labonte going past Wallace.
Yeah, Labonte got by.
Back up front for a
Here we
moment.
go with Mark trying to get by Dale
Right
again.
back up on the bumper of Earnhardt.
Starting to reel him in now. He got, I think one of the keys, like Buddy said a while ago, he shook Bodine off the rear end of his car. And it really upset his car to have somebody up under him. He got Bodine off of him, now he's going back to offense instead of defense, and he's starting to work on Earnhardt again.
Yeah, he's no longer racing the third-place car. He's trying to catch the 3, and that makes your line a lot better.
Mark Martin is a lot like nitroglycerin. It only takes a little bit of it, but there's so much intense energy all bottled up right there. When it gets going, kaboom. I wonder if there's a more intense person in the garage area, a more intense driver than Mark Martin.
I tell you, he's really dedicated. When he first started racing, everybody says his size, he couldn't do it. And I think he realized it hurt him. He couldn't go the distance of some long races, and I don't think there's anybody that works physically on themselves to try to stay in as good shape as Mark Martin does. He's physically strong and mentally, he's really dedicated to winning.
Mark Martin was
Jack
a
Roush, team owner,
strong driver, you know, and
long time
went through a lot. He raced a long time, too.
Racing cars as well. His crew chief,
He
Steve
worked
Camille,
for what he
was asked
had,
if you build a
you
car
know,
just for
what he's
Dover, How would
accomplished.
you set it up?
I wish he would have won at least one championship, you know. Same thing with the 500 too, Daytona 500.
2 or 3 months when we don't run, and when you come back, you're real loose and you get sideways qualifying, and then in the race, as you work on the track more and put more rubber down, it'll tighten up. Somebody like Harry again that qualifies in the middle usually whip your butt. Typically, we're too loose qualifying and too tight.
Why are they using that music? I know that. Annoying. I like the music. It's just like, I don't know if it'll get me copyrighted.
Bill Elliott and Ricky Rudd, the front 5. Brett Bodine,
117 laps in.
Davey Allison, Stern Wall, and Kyle Petty.
Davies up to 7th. Rudds fell down to 9th. I wonder what happened to him.
Right up there.
I wonder why he fell down to 9th. He was 5th.
This track is the only certified 1-mile speedway that NASCAR runs.
Bill Elliott just can't seem to get by Jeff Bodine.
15 feet from the outside wall. It's 1 mile around here.
You know, we had a reader or a watcher call in a while ago and asked how Davey Allison's hand's doing, and I talked to him yesterday, and I tell you what, he's got a lot of pain in that arm, and it's still pretty ragged looking. I tell you, he's got a long ways to go before he's 100%.
But he's sure giving it 100% effort.
He's all got, I tell you, he's a real race car driver. Anybody can sit in one of these things and run 500 miles with 10 screws and everything else holding his arms together in his hands. He gets my call for the toughest guy around.
About as many bolts in him as there is that race car.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
tell you,
Davey
his
has
arm is-
4
he
wins
has
up until this
the
point,
elbow
so
all the
does
way
Bill
down to the,
Elliott.
hand on the inside.
I think
and out.
Irvin has 3 or
Second in
4
the
too.
pickup points, 134 behind Bill Elliott. Giving it a good run here today. Davey Allison presently is in 7th place. Up at 3rd place, the man he's chasing in the points, Bill Elliott, is chasing Jeff Bodine. Draws a bead on him as they roll off into turn 1.
You know, Sterling Marling was running right along with Bill. Bill's picked it up a little bit. He's closing in on Bodine. He's lost Sterling a little bit further back.
Jeff Bodine, former winner here, so is Elliott. Holds the track record for 500 miles here in just 2 minutes under 4 hours 2 years ago.
Neil, he probably just told Bill, okay, if you want to, go on up there and take the lead. We need that 5 points.
Yeah, Junior will give you flying instructions every now and then.
Junior Johnson.
Let's check with Steve Evans.
He's a great team owner and driver.
And we all heard a tire explode. And the crew looked out on the racetrack. We came back behind the tool cart, and look at this. Just sitting here, I guess, from the weight of all the tools, this little bitty tire blew. But it blew with such force, everybody thought it was something out on the racetrack. And in the middle here at Dover, we got a real good laugh.
Wow.
I don't know how you can
That's
get a
so
lot
odd.
right from that
I've
one,
never
Steve.
seen that before happen in a NASCAR race.
Yeah. Perhaps so. Here's the Dave Marcus car, number 71. Jim Sauter, the driver from Wisconsin, is driving Marcus's car as Marcus has replaced Greg Sachs in the Kellogg's car. Interesting turn of events to finish out the season.
Yeah, I was wondering why
The reason
they
Marcus continues
did
to keep
that.
his own car on the racetrack is he's well up in the battle for owner points in NASCAR, and that does pay off some money at the end of the season. So Jim
Kyle
Sauter
Petty
out
going
there
by
in
Rudd.
Mike, that poor little buggy down there will probably never get changed. It's just like having a car at home. You never work on your own car. We got guys there that change tires in 12 seconds. That thing, they'll hire somebody to come change the tire on that buggy.
Rusty Wallace and Harry Gant running 16th and 17th on the Speedway. Gant has just settled into that 17th spot. There's Dave Marcus in the yellow car. Larry Hendrick Kellogg's car with Terry Labonte in tow. Ted Musgrave running right behind
Gant's
Gant.
about to get by Rusty here. He's got to run to the inside.
We're watching right here.
He just couldn't quite get by him there on the straightaway.
Rusty
Wallace's
had
car's
been
been
here.
sort of going up the
He's
hill
got
a little
soft
bit
set of
at
springs. He's
turn
never
1
ran
and
here
2.
before. And he's got a new crew chief, Buddy Parrick. And when you get new people, you're willing to try new things.
Wallace
So when
won the
standard
previous
setup,
race
a little softer
at
chassis
Richmond.
stuff, it might take through the course of the
It
race.
was his first
Don't
win of the
count him
year.
out
I mean,
because
there was
the
some
soft
races
springs
where
takes a little
Wallace
different
was
bite and
good,
everything, and before
but
the
there's
race,
also
they've got
some
to
races
get
where
that
he
car
was just
straight
like a
out.
lot of laps down. But
There's Wallace right in the middle of that picture.
from NASCAR knowledge and
Wallace, Gant,
stuff I've
and
looked up,
Musgrave.
I know that Wallace had a really good 93 and 94 season. He became one of the top dogs, I guess, every week.
Somewhat shaken. Alan Kowicki has come out of the care center now. Alan,
Even though he did win the championship in '98.
Can you tell us what happened up there?
Well, I was trying to lap the 9 car, and he pulled over on the backstretch to let me go. I went in the third turn on the outside of him, and he hit me in the left rear and spun me around. We hit the wall really hard. And
I mean, I don't know if it was his fault or not. It looked like he came down on the 9 of Chattanooga, but
Well, the crew is still working on the car. Do you feel up to
I'm
get
sure
back in it if they can
you can
repair
tell
it?
he's disappointed.
as hard as that thing hit, they're probably just working on it to load it on the truck. I doubt if we'll be back today, but we'll be back another day. We're not going to give up.
Glad to see you're okay. Better luck next time.
And they didn't give up.
Alan Kowicki. He's had offers to drive for other teams, prefers to run his own railroad, steer his own ship, and he's in third and wins the Cup points standings. But to hold that spot leaving here today, may have to get back in this race.
Did you see that little sticker when he asked me, said, will you be able to get back in it when they fix it? He knows
My
how it
grandparents
felt. He's
gave me
not sure they
these.
can fix it.
I probably haven't talked about them before, but they're called peanut butter pretzels.
Back up front.
And they're like salted.
Earnhardt works
Bro, these
all
things
the
are
racetrack.
good, man.
Mark Martin running right
I eat
to the
these a
tire.
lot.
Rolling Dollar back there went under him. He was running. So must be a little bit of a problem. He's falling back here on the outside. That's a teammate to Mark Martin.
Back at 15th spot. Make that 14th spot. The yellow car, Dave Martin. Harry Labonte is 15th. Wallace 16th. Gant 17th. Musgrave 18th. Now, Ted Musgrave in the 55 car, that's the team Buddy Parrott left to go with Roger Penske and Rusty Wallace. And a lot of folks figured, well, you know, that's the end of the great rides Musgrave has had, but it hasn't been that way. He's run very well.
Good racer. He ran a lot of ASA stuff. Won a lot of races up there. They get it sorted out. He'll win here.
132 laps complete here at Dover Down.
Music. You can't just got by Wallace there as they were going to commercials. some reason my nose keeps running a lot. I'm having to keep blowing it. Well, I guess he didn't cut out some commercials.
Bypass. 137 laps complete. Riding along with Rusty Wallace. The Miller Genuine Draft
It's
Pontiac.
cool onboard view. They just don't leave it up very long. They just keep cutting it after about 10
On the
seconds.
opposite straightaway.
They did like a whole lap around without commentary. I could definitely use that for my onboards account that I run with my bro Mike.
And now he's opened up quite a margin on Mark Martin, the second place
Which,
car.
speaking of Mike, our podcast with the Nasboys podcast, our new episode should be coming out soon.
Fourth close together.
Probably be out
Back at
Wednesday,
Mark
I
Martin.
think.
There's the interval. First and second.
Pretty impressive.
He must have done some adjustment on his car on the pit stop. Because he's picked
And
up the
Dale
pace
Earnhardt
quite a
sort
bit
of
from what he was
increased
running
his
on the
gap on
Jeff
Martin.
Bodine, top of your screen there for a moment. So Mark Martin, there's third place, Bodine.
Yeah, the
And with
field's
him,
getting more spread out
we'll see
since it's
Bill
been a long
Elliott.
green flag run.
Two red Fords. Bodine, number 15. And just a couple of car lengths back. There's Bill Elliott coming into view. Elliott runs here in fourth, has not led today. Only three drivers trading the lead back and forth. Cwilyt, Earnhardt, and Mark Martin. Elliott in fourth. He's got pretty good breathing room.
Derek Cope got one of his
Fifth place,
two
Dick Trickle.
career cup wins at Dover. His last one was at Dover in 1990. Or 91, one of those 2 years. I'm pretty sure it was 90.
Trickle
If
went
not,
down.
then, someone probably let me
There's
know.
Trickle in
Or I'll
fifth.
just look it up myself.
He rounds up out of turn number 2. Pretty clear racetrack behind him for a ways.
You know what? You see this little gap in here between the cars. And Dick Trickle's driving just as hard as the guy leading the race, but the car's just a little bit off in the corner right now.
There's sixth place Sterling Marlin. You see he trails Trickle by about 2 seconds now. Maxwell House car. And Davey Allison coming up on Sterling Marlin.
You know, we're all pulling for Dick to get a good ride for next year because he's been told
And
that he
Sterling
won't be back
Marlin,
in the
he
second
had
car
some,
next
he's
year.
had good
And
races.
Sterling Marlin will
It's
move
kind of
on.
like his season's been sort of like,
Davey Allison.
it's not been as bad as Michael Walters, but it's had some similarities to it, to where like
Sterling Marlin.
he's had good races, but he's also been getting caught up in other people's problems. Like Marlin's had some races where he was literally in the top 5, and then either he got caught up in a wreck or he had a mechanical
There's
issue
Kyle
and
Petty, and he has
dropped him back.
Kyle's come up to 8th spot now. He had been back with that Rusty Wallace pack, but has moved up into the 8th position.
If I'm correct, Marlin didn't get his first win till the
There's the interval 7th to 8th.
1994 Daytona 500 was his
Morgan
first
Shepherd
ever
is 9th, Fred
win.
Thorne 9 and 10th.
And then he won
Then Ernie Irvin.
the 1995 one as well.
145 laps complete here at Dover. Earnhardt, Martin,
Another
Jeff
commercial.
Bodine,
And people
Elliott, and
complain
Trickle.
about how many commercials Fox has. Man, TNN, I've been watching this season. TNN's had a lot of commercial breaks. And it's more than I think now from Fox. But people didn't, I don't know if people complained about it back then or not. Skip forward. Don't want to get too close to that right there because it'll cause it to buffer.
Rusty Wallace, go ahead.
What the music? Okay.
Got out of his position.
And
He's
Dick
moved up
Trickle
closer
in
to
fifth.
17th.
He's having a good
Be
run.
careful, he's moving up. I
His
think
car's
he's
been
about
pretty
14th
decent.
now.
Allison had a hard time getting by Bodine, but he's moved
There's
his
the
way
top
up.
10. And you see Darrell Waltrip up there in that picture.
Darrell
And
Waltrip
Darrell
hasn't
is
had a
just 1.6
good
seconds
race.
from getting lapped by
Yeah, he's
See
got to
that
get
shot
lapped.
from a 4 turn directly behind him
There's
was
Dave
Earnhardt.
Marcus in the
He just put
41.
Schrader a lap down. Schrader have a little bit of problem. There's Earnhardt, you can see coming in the bottom of the shot.
Now there's Marcus. He's dropped to the back of that pack. But Earnhardt will come up and lap him. They will go like a rocket.
Boy, he's closing that interval every lap.
You know, Darrell's really good at pacing himself with a car. Now, if he's got anything, he can't pace anymore. He's going to have to see if he can stay ahead of Earnhardt and try to catch a caution and get that mile of racetrack back.
I remember there was one race to watch from the 90s at Dover. I don't remember what year it was, but I know Jeff Gordon wrecked in the race. I want to say it was 93.
He was having some trouble with Walter's car, not running like you wanted
And
to.
I kind of mentioned this a little bit earlier too, but I've watched 1994 here at Dover, 1996, one of the races in 96 and 98.
Maybe that's the reason Harry pulled around some of those cars and started picking up the pace.
Yeah, you know, I've been thinking about what season I could watch next all the way through. If there was like every race from 1989, that'd be pretty cool, or 88. I don't think they have every race from those two seasons on YouTube, but if they do, then I'll watch it because I need to watch a whole 80s season. I've watched some races from the 80s, of course, but to have a whole season watched through, that'd be pretty cool.
And of course, Harry Gann will be back for Leo Jackson. This race is for 14th place.
And knows the leader's coming. He's trying to figure out how to get on around him.
Gann's about to get by Labonte.
Go a lap down.
He's driving his heart out now. You can see him trying twice the car as he was just a second
I'm
ago.
crap Labonte's driving the Oldsmobile like Gann is.
At the halfway point, and you filed an entry for this week's running of the Gillette Halfway Challenge. Phone could ring, and if it's the Gillette folks and you know the right driver, win a Chevy Lumina Z34. To enter next week's contest for the Goody 500, right Gillette Halfway Challenge. Send your name, address, and phone number, box 2246, St. Petersburg, Florida, 33731. Make sure they get your entry by next Saturday.
Gann's trying everything he can with Labonte. He's tried him high. Matter of fact, he's tried higher than most people try. See Harry run a little bit higher line. As he gets on the far side of the corner, watch how much higher he is. Right up a little bit. He's trying to get a run down under Labonte off the corner, but Labonte's car runs good up off the corner.
Yeah, it has been. I've been noticing, like, his car is really good on exit.
Can't go into this corner.
Gann's able to get up to his bumper. He just can't quite get by him off the corners, or seem to get underneath them either.
17 cars on the lead lap.
Bill Elliott.
Bill Elliott chasing Jeff Bodine. That gap's opened up a good bit.
It has.
Jeff Bodine blowing away there from Elliott.
It's been a long green flag run.
And there's the gap from Mark Martin back to Bodine.
The way the first 100 laps went, I thought that the longest green flag run would probably be at least 30 laps, but man, this one's been going on for a while.
They kiss this race goodbye. They got to try to keep up with it.
And also, I predicted there'd be 8 cautions, so
there's the second and third place cars. Just lap 10 Musgrave.
there'll be 8 cautions. We'll probably see another wreck or
Right in
two.
front of them, you see Rusty
I wouldn't be
Wallace,
surprised.
the next guy in front, and Rusty knows he wants to work on that car, but boy, I tell you, real close to a lap down.
16 cars now on the lead lap.
And Rusty Wallace about to go a lap down.
Being the last of those.
You talk about somebody who runs car hard, Rusty Wallace now. When he sees Earnhardt, they're good friends and all, but he certainly don't want to put him a lap down. Rusty's sitting up on the edge of that seat right now. He's going to race his hard out so he can stay ahead of him. That's tough at times, but you just can't do anything about it, can you?
Fifth place race here. Dick Trickle has Sterling Marlin on the move. There's Trickle's car. He just wash up there right in the middle of the corner, just wash up a bit into that second turn. And Jeff Bodine has gone to second. Past Marty Martin.
Yeah, that's a little strange there. Mark is so dominant. You normally don't hurt yourself that much with just one little chassis change. I don't know. He may be experiencing a bad set of tires or something like that.
think it's the video. I don't think it's my internet. It's just the video's lagging at times.
Mark Martin in third.
Baby Star heading down the first turn. Roll out front right here, right back in front. You just lay it on the map here.
And that sun glare.
We talk about
And it's like blinding for the drivers, I bet.
Going uphill onto the straightaway.
At Dover in turn 1, and seems like coming off of 4, it's okay, but like when you get into turn 1 and 2, it seems like there's a little bit of a glare around 1 and 2.
Like the RPM so high,
Yeah,
it's
right
like
there.
driving off in a hole. It's just like the car goes out in midair and really turns a lot of RPM, so it's really
Good
got
go, Larry Mack.
durability in your motors when you come here.
Such a legend, man.
Welcome back to TNN's live coverage from Dover Downs. We are 1/3 distance, 167 laps.
1/3 through.
Dale Earnhardt, your race leader. Jeff Bodine
And
runs
it's
in the second
10:30
position.
Eastern
Third, Phil
time,
Elliott.
so
And Mark Martin has now slipped to 4th. Dick Trickle
we
is
got
in 5th place.
And coming down
2
pit road.
hours
Next to be
and
Sterling Marlin, 7th Morgan Shepherd, then
around
Davey Allison,
30
Kyle Petty,
minutes left,
and
so
Bernie Irvin.
man, this isn't going to be over till around 1-ish. But then again, I've always liked watching long races. I know it's most people don't, but I actually like watching long races. Yeah, at night I'm probably going to get a little tired towards the end.
Car ran so well the start of this race and is still running fairly
It's
well.
crazy.
Dick Trickle is getting a chance.
He's
to
having a
adjustment
slow
here.
stop. He's going to lose a lap or two.
Took 28 seconds to do that service.
28 seconds,
Back in
yeah,
the
that's a
race at
slow
lap
stop.
170. He'll be a lap down.
Well, you know, we heard him talking about.
Yeah, he
having a
did well
motor
at
car.
Bristol
Jeff
and
Bodine coming
Daytona.
down pit road
Big
while
place
we're talking.
finishes there in Atlanta.
He was up to second place.
His
running
best
real well
race,
in
I
the
thought, was Atlanta. He had a chance to win that one. He led a lot of laps, and
Since many of the
he was up
contenders are on
front
pit
all
road.
day.
Could be seeing the first of scheduled pit stops under green.
You know, he's happy with the chassis. You don't see anybody hanging in the windows trying to...
I have a
adjust anything
die-cast
on
of
the
that
car, so
15
it must be
car.
handling smoothly.
Yeah, the video's lagging.
Everybody looked like they put a hat around. They heard you and they wanted to change
But
it
hey, I
anyway.
mean, I'm glad we're watching this, you know? It's really cool to see.
You saw them clean the grill. One of our questions over the 800 number was, if you get that grill blocked up with paper, how much that
Thankful
hurt
for
you, how long you
YouTube
can run?
and
Well, it depends on the size
Smith
of the paper,
TV
of
for
course,
opening
but,
or for
they have a lot of
uploading
air intake on these
or
cars
having
on mile racetracks
races
like
from
this.
back in
You
the
see
day
a lot more Daytona places.
out there for people to
It's not as
watch, you know,
critical here as it would
relive
be if they
history
don't really
and
have smaller openers.
Well, one thing too, these radiators
And for
on these
some
cars now,
people
they
like myself
distilleries.
who weren't
The
born
things
at the
are so
time
big,
to
big
go
aluminum
back and
radiators,
watch
you can almost run
the
thing
good
plugged
old
up.
days, as they say.
This is kind of unusual to see Earnhardt go a long way on fuel. Their team is one of the usually the first ones to pit. We've seen some of the top teams come in, and Dale, this bunch is staying out right now.
Sterling Marlin's in. And Strickland is driving Judy Donlevy today. He's on pit road. And the rest of the season, he'll drive that number 90 car with Junior
I think I
Johnson
said this
engine.
in the,
Whoops, he's over the
oh,
line.
he's over the line.
See the guy, Inspector tell him to back up.
That's what happened to
Stop
Ken
and back
Schrader
up. He came
earlier.
over the line. That's going to cost him.
You know, they put those angle lines down. You see right at the left front corner of Sterling's car on the pit.
But
so the driver knows exactly
I
where
mentioned
to
this
stop.
in
The
the
problem is in
Bristol,
seat.
I think it was the
You can't see
Bristol
where that angle
stream
is.
that I
It's
thought
like
the
curve when
22
you're
car,
pulling into a parking
you know,
space.
You
the
also
22
notice the
Maxwell
nose
House
there. He's
car
been a
is
little
one of my
closer
favorite
from
paint
right here.
schemes.
Yep, and another thing too, Mike, talking about this.
And
is
something else I
full
want to
track.
sort
It
of
has a
point out,
26-foot pit. It's a real short pit. It's
the,
hard to get in and get in short
with the
distance
pit
without
stops,
getting
you
over the
could,
line.
back in the day, you could lay your tires out like on the line, and nowadays you can't do stuff like that. You get penalized for the stupidest stuff. I mean, with like too many men over the wall,
Yeah, you think
I've never understood why they made that
whoever
rule.
gets there, this bunch is pretty efficient at getting right on out.
With the tires like going a little bit beyond the line, you can get penalized for that. I mean, I can sort of see why, but sometimes it's literally not in the way of the other cars. So I've always thought that penalty was kind of odd. Jumping over the wall too soon, I've never understood that one either. I don't like that rule.
21 seconds.
Yeah, a lot of slow stops so far from some people, but back then the average like 18 seconds to stop at the fastest.
He dropped the clutch on the thing
nowadays
gotta
it's much
come in
faster.
slow and leave slow, so that in-pit really works
And
out
it's
in
going to be
the race.
faster with the new tires and lug nut. The only one lug nut now. I despise that there's only one. It just makes it like the cars are now like Formula One or IndyCar open wheel with just one lug nut, and that's not stock car racing. It's kind of aggravating to see NASCAR do that, despite the fans saying they didn't like it either, or most of them. Man, Marlin, yet again, he was doing good, and now he may have an engine issue. Man, he can't catch a break.
Refuses any kind of reflection on a very hot day. Fuel going in, tires going on. Obviously, we're looking to see if there's any camber adjustment, and so far not. The way that car is handling and moving up, I don't blame Davey for not wanting to race today. Larry McConnell through doing a tremendous job. Eddie Ellison smokes the tires. He's out of here.
That looked like there's a faster stop than everyone else's so far.
40 miles an hour down pit road. Ricky Rudd is in. Ted Musgrave. Jeff Purvis makes the pit stop. All under green. Bill Elliott is the race leader. Mark Martin, Morgan Shepherd, Kyle Petty, and Ernie Irvin has risen to 5th place as most of the leaders make green flag pit stops.
It doesn't seem to be any surprise to see the 11 car go a long way on fuel. They always go.
Yeah,
and
Bill
go and
Elliott,
go.
there's been multiple races this season where he's stayed out very long. Like, I know Pocono, he did that. He did that at Michigan.
So they can push Sterling.
Some other races. I think he did that at Darlington too. The first Darlington race.
181 laps complete here at Dover.
And Morgan Shepherd's up to 3rd, but he'll probably lose that when he pits. Same thing with Irvin and Petty. Alright, I'll be back real quick. Put some of my stuff away. Some food I already ate. Well, I was trying to get some Skittles, y'all, and I dropped them all over the floor, so bear with me. It's quite cringe. I didn't think that the bag was open that much where it'd spill out everywhere. Oh man, I missed a wreck while I was gone. Hold on. I'll be there in a second. That was bad timing for me to miss a wreck. I just glanced at the screen from the other side of the room and I see a car stopped in the middle of the track. Trying to get some Skittles, but the bag broke more than I wanted it to and it just spilled over the floor. Oh, that's the 12 car, the Purvis. It looks like he nailed the... If I were to guess, he hit the outside wall off of turn 4 or off of turn 2. I forgot to unmute. My fault.
Under Purvis, second incident of the day involving the young Alabama driver. Top of the screen, turn 4.
Yep, turn 4. Oh, yeah.
He just turned around backwards there.
He may have had some help.
Or not, but look at this car go head on into that wall.
I think Mark Martin was pitting too, so...
He come right back into the middle of the racetrack. You watch these cars come off.
Oh, wow, he nearly got hit by Allison. Whoa, that was close.
Okay, now, you just keep watching. You'll see all these cars do everything they can do to miss you because you don't expect a car in the middle.
When you see the car, he's already sideways there, but it's hard to tell what happened.
Yeah.
Boy, it took a lick in there. Like you're talking about now, the problem starts when he starts back across traffic, which he doesn't have any control over that. These other guys got to start dodging.
I tell you, Davey Allison did a beautiful job of driving there to miss him.
We're going to take a
Yeah,
minute here to
imagine if
sort out the
Allison
field,
hit
but we
him,
may end
bro,
up when we
like,
come back from
the
break
points
with
would be
as
so
few
different.
as 3 cars on the lead lap. Jeff Purvis okay after a grinding crash at lap 187.
Let's go ahead real quick.
Big spin in qualifying, didn't bang the car up too badly. But this was a tough one.
Wish we had a better replay of the wreck, but
That incident
you know, a lot of people didn't expect that probably happening. Plus, it was going on during green flag pit stop, so it is what it is.
Get an in-car look.
Oh, we got the in-car view.
Here's Davy's car.
Okay, this is gonna be interesting.
Already back in the throttle. Then he
Wow, he's in the throttle too.
Thinks he's got to miss. There's Purvis.
Whoa, that was
Quick reaction to
close.
missing.
You see how quick things
Man,
happen.
I'm gonna have to post that on the onboards account. That's crazy.
Run right in that car.
He was going full speed. He almost barely stopped.
Middle of the racetrack.
Well, fuel mileage has determined the complexion of this race. Right now, Bill Elliott, the leader, Harry Gant second, and Mark Martin is third. Then Ernie Irvin and Morgan Shepherd among the cars that made pit stops before the caution. We'll be back after this. Benefited from the timing of his caution flag. He was on pit road and was all set to pull in and stop, and they sent him around as a result of the incident. Kenny Schrader comes into pit road. When he had that collision, something happened to start putting fumes into the car, and it looks like he'll get a relief driver in the form of Sterling Marlin.
Yeah, he knocked the inner panels out.
Why is he getting a relief
wheels.
driver? Hold on, I missed it.
Collision, something happened. Kenny Schrader comes into pit road. When he had that collision, something happened to start putting fumes into the car, and it looks like he'll get a relief driver in the form of Sterling Marlin.
Huh. That's interesting.
He knocked the inner panels out of the fender wheels, and all that heat, Buddy and I were talking before, that heat starts coming in there. They actually cut a hole in the roof of the car trying to get air in there for him to force some air, but when those go out, Buddy, there's nothing that copes with that fume coming in there.
Well, it's just like going in the dyno room and sitting straight behind the motor and expecting to go.
4 or 5 cars in the lead lap, and when they get the fresh tires on, even the slow cars can outrun us because we're down on horsepower. So we let it
long caution period.
We'll come look at it, but it may be a valve.
Hopefully that keeps going out, or it's going to glitch. There we go. Hey, it's moving up a little bit.
Well, how
Okay,
much
that's good.
has it affected your lap time?
Oh, not a whole lot. We were too tight. You know, we were just a touch tight to start with, and then we lost the cylinder. We're tighter yet, so we loosened them up a bunch and put a set of stickers on it. We're going to run, but everybody can run on new tires, so it will be a little bit of a disadvantage unless it stays green.
Well, one thing they did, they got that
That's a
pit
cool
stop
shot right there. I'm going to have to screenshot that.
Just going to try to hang on.
You see Mark Martin's car with the roof cam. The drivers, our commentators, all say that it's the closest view.
Maybe
to,
I could put down my thumbnail.
So
We'll see.
Robert from Montana and a fellow from Warehouse Point, Connecticut called
If
in and
it goes
say,
on
"Well,
YouTube,
about
of course,
that cam
a thumbnail for
right over the
YouTube."
driver's head, so you see exactly the perspective that he sees. So I talked to Peter Larson of Broadcast Sports Technology that puts that camera in the cars. We went down yesterday and had a look at the roof cam mounting to show you just why it's mounted where it is. Here's the roof cam on Mark Martin's car. There's the lens opening, and the housing is very aerodynamically designed. By mounting it in the center of the roof, you minimize any aerodynamic advantage or disadvantage by having it one side or another.
It's kind of big or tall, but it's cool.
Is safety. The camera is bolted through the roof, and you wouldn't want the bolts and hardware to be right up over the driver's hands.
Yep.
So where they put it, though, gives you a great view.
Well, I'm glad they showed us how they did that. You know, it's pretty cool. And
one to go, and all these guys
they're starting to onboard stuff around the late 80s and
get them a good start point. There's going to be a
in the
bunch of
90s,
cars
and
get their laps
just
back.
shows you
When the caution
progression
came out, 3 of the lead cars
and
had not yet
how
made
things
pit
were, you
stops.
know.
Bill Elliott, Harry Gant, and Mark Martin.
We're
who was
going
on
back
pit
to
road,
green
went straight
here on this
through to
restart.
Stay on the lead lap.
Almost 300 to go.
So those cars are up on the lead lap. And it is Darrell Waltrip, Ernie Irvin, and Morgan Shepherd on the tail end of the lead lap.
Back green. Brett Bodine tried to dive underneath Dale Jerry
He
there.
is on the tail end of the lead lap. Bill Elliott is the race leader. That's Elliott, right side of your screen, battling with Ricky Rudd's car. Just back of Ricky Rudd's
Lap car trying to get their laps back.
There's Gant, you know, who stayed out. He's right up there in second place, and he's trying the outside of the.
Well, there's Ricky
11
Rudd
car.
there. He's trying to get by.
Earnhardt wants to make that right back up, but he's on the inside there, and he just cannot get running.
Oh, that's close. Bill almost got into Shepard there. That was very close.
Earnhardt is a lap down. The guy whose motor is
Wow, Earnhardt's a lap down, man.
second place, third place car.
Just bad timing for that caution, too.
Well,
Caught a lot of good cars a lap down, like Harry Gann and Shepard and Earnhardt. Man, that was a bad lag.
There's the reason Earnhardt's definitely on the move. There'll be a lot of slipping in just a second,
the backseat driver cam and Rusty Wallace is talking. Giving you that picture. Morgan Shepherd's on the tail end of the lead lap in the Citgo car. Bill Elliott trying to deal with him here.
Worse time for some of the drivers, better time for the others. Just made a big turnaround with his leadless race.
Of the 5 drivers who have won races by fuel mileage this year, 2 of them are among our front 3. Elliott did it
He
in
said
Atlanta.
among.
Gant did it
Every
here
time
in
I hear
June
the word
and in
among
Michigan.
now, it just makes me think of Among Us. It's probably an issue. If anyone else feels the same way, or that happens with them too, comment down below. But yeah, you know, I'm hoping that last reaction video with the Pocono, where I was watching the whole Pocono race, that did really well, and a lot of people watched that, and I appreciate everyone that has been watching my videos and, you know, enjoying going back in time and seeing this history that took place, the great season of 1992. You know, I'm sure people will enjoy this race as well.
On the lead lap here.
I got to tell you something else. Harry Gann was real close to getting out. He seen the leader coming. He started picking his speed up, and he actually drove away from Earnhardt a little bit. So he made it himself as he needs to be today.
You know, buddy, that's what we were talking about. He was racing with Labonte. We were wondering if he could get around, and he cleared Labonte and drove out the straightaway. So Gant's got a pretty strong race car here.
It's getting warm in here. I'm about to take off my jacket.
Nobody.
A little while.
Here's probably the most surprised fellow in the place. Dale Earnhardt was leading when he made his pit stop. Then the caution came out.
Yeah.
The drivers that did not
Bad
stop on the
timing.
lead lap, and Earnhardt the lap down.
Yeah, back then, man, you hit and on a short track, you could lose lots of laps. Like, you could, during the green flag, you could lose, like, laps, and you have to, when the other people who didn't pit will come down pit road, and you will get them back. But if the caution came out, you're just, you know, you could lose your chance of winning right then and there. You'll be 2 laps down, have to fight your way back. It's very hard on those drivers. Plus, they didn't have a lucky dog rule either, or a free pass, as they would say now.
Trickle's pit stop took 28 seconds, so he is 2 laps down to the race leader, a lap behind Earnhardt.
You know, Neil, you said they didn't do anything but a half a round. What time's a half a round? Knocked you right out of the ballpark here.
One thing about race car guys, they'll be running good. I said, boy, let's just do a little bit. Make it better. And sometimes
It looked like Martin and Dale had a little bit of contact. Whoa, what a move to the inside by Bodine.
Bold move.
That was very risky, but then Mark Marr was able to slide back underneath it. Man, that could have been a bad wreck if they had made contact there.
Old saying, old and bold, but no old bold.
And poor old Dale's he's stuck on the outside lane. Now he's finally going to get back in line.
But what Steve Bill was talking about, they're going to take Bite out of the car and virtually let Mark almost hold the car wide open. When you lose a cylinder, you can almost hold the car wide open through the corner. That's where he's going to have to run in the corner speeds.
Earnhardt moves underneath. That Musgrave, 55.
You know, that's amazing. The car can be that dominant over that long a period. And just one little chassis adjustment, now he's out of the ballpark.
And that 76 thing, you know, with the ball and the pole. They have those for spotter stands every once in a while, but
Bill Elliott's the leader. Harry Gann is second.
man, I wish they had more of those at tracks nowadays.
Back, but on the tail end of the lead lap, Ernie Irvin is 4th and Morgan Shepherd
Just such
is
a
5th.
classic
6th. 1 lap down,
classic
Davey
thing to
Allison,
have
7th,
it.
Darrell Walton,
in NASCAR races back then.
With Jeff Bodine and Kyle Petty, Dale Jarrett, Rusty
I don't even know if they don't really have those anymore. I know they have one for Daytona, I think.
2 laps down.
I don't even know. They may have replaced it like with another name or something like that. But I went to the Hall of Fame in November. I got to go inside one of those. A little bit of an experience, I guess, with that. Even though to witness it in real life, being able to get inside one of those and out like outside of like the wall for the track. Man, that'd be so cool.
Didn't get around Morgan Shepherd, which that did put him another lap back. He held Bill off a long time when Bill finally got around.
We invite
Miss Shepherd's now a lap down again.
Or any aspect of it at our 800 number. It's a free call, 1-800-451-7331. It'll be up all during the live telecast of our race here at Dover Downs. We want you to be a part of it. We'll try to get the answers to your questions for you.
See if there's any comments.
Dick Beatty as Winston Cup director. First, we want to say hi to Dick and to Morris Metcalf, who's recuperating, both out of the hospital. But Dick has planned to retire at the end of this season. He's done a great job, head of the Winston Cup division for NASCAR. And no announcement yet on who will replace him. Gary Nelson's been the technical director of the series and has done a great job. Ray Hill.
Yeah, they mentioned Gary Nelson a couple races ago.
As is Gary Nelson.
There's a lot of changes going on NASCAR. Jim Hunter's a top NASCAR's making a lot of changes at the top, and I don't think we've seen any.
I think we might see another long green flag run, which we had before the last caution. It was around 60 or 80 laps.
The caution flag did help, but they ran and got Sterling Marlin, and they called Schrader on the radio and said, "We got Sterling in your pits if you want to come in." And Schrader radioed back, "Handcuff him. Make sure you keep him there."
Let me tell you, I stood by for him the whole race in Daytona. If he can go, he'll make it all the way.
Yeah, he's tough as any of these guys out there. He runs a lot of races, a lot of number of races other than the Winston Cup. He's in plenty good shape. That thing give him a bit through those fumes.
And Ted Musgrave might
211 laps,
get by Terry Labonte.
Darrell Waltrip among those drivers.
DW.
As the new crew chief, Jake Elder. And we asked Jake
probably gonna be a
what
commercial
about
soon.
running 500 miles here at Dover.
It's just a
after this.
track to drive 500 miles on because you're in the corners along here. And it's just a tiresome racetrack to drive if it's hot. If it's cool, it ain't that bad. But if it's a good, hot, sticky day, it's just a hard day on them drivers.
TNN.
Gotta be careful with that. Because there's no unimportant parts, Napata parts.
118 laps complete here. Bill Elliott running out front. There's Richard Petty running in 23rd position. In his
Oh,
final
23rd,
appearance,
it's
facing
mid-pack.
Dave Market. Those cars 3 laps
Petty
back.
did really well at Dover in his career, though. I think he had 7 wins
Scattered
there.
the field. Some have made pit stops, some have not. We've had 4 caution flags. The first
But
lap 15,
Petty has
Ken
struggled
Schrader.
on short tracks in the 1992 season. He's done well at like super speedways. He's been up towards the front and somewhat like he'd be on the lead lap, but then with some tracks like Bristol and
how many cars are hooked up to computers?
yeah, like Bristol and there's been some where he would be up front or mid pack, and then he would just fall through the field and then get lapped, and he would never come back. Like he would just be a lot of laps down. This might be one of those races again where he's just gonna be a lot of laps down, mid pack or towards the back.
So how many tires are you allowed to mount up and put behind the wall?
You can mount all you please, but it's about $1,100 a set. So, and we noticed there's about 9 sets in each one of the top contenders here.
Set on the car, you're talking about 10 sets. Figure you got to run 5th to pay the tire
Yeah,
bill.
it kind of glitched
Here
there.
are a couple of guys running in a battle for 8th position. Earnhardt and Darrell Waltrip. 1 lap down. Let's give you a Napa
Wow,
field
so they're
standing
8th
update.
battling for 1 lap.
Close
Okay,
in on the
so
halfway point.
pretty good with the
Brought to you by Napa
leaderboard.
because there are
Getting
no
close halfway.
unimportant parts.
Henry Irvin's the
Those 4
fourth.
cars are on the lead lap. These
Shepard's
cars
fifth.
are 1 lap down.
So Shepard's a lap down. Allison's like, wow, all these guys are stuck a lap
Those
down.
cars are showing you now.
Because of that
1 lap
caution.
back.
It's going to be hard for some of these guys to get back on the
Rader's
lead
still
lap.
out there, still in the car.
What happened to Ricky Rudd? There he is, 13th. He was up in the top 5 for most of the beginning of the race. He fell back. Labonte fell back too.
Back to Jimmy Hensley.
Jimmy
now
Hensley's
cars
having a decent
on the field
run,
roll 3 laps down.
considering the equipment he had.
Dave Martin.
For sure. Rick Massey started up in the top 10. He's all the way back there in 24.
Hard to figure where everybody's at now.
I'm surprised Michael Waltrip, despite all these issues he's had, he's above a couple of these guys. I thought he'd be closer to around the 30th position.
Sterling Marlin, Alan Kulwicki, James Hilton, and Graham Taylor.
Yeah, Quicky's going to lose a lot of points. He's going to be at least 300 back, 200 back, which means he made up a bunch of points after this race. And I, as I've been saying, like, I've been watching every race from the season, so I wonder if, like, Allison would have a race where he just did really bad in the next couple races, which allowed the points to get closer. Same thing with Elliott. Because Alan Kulwicki didn't win another race this year. His last ever win was Pocono.
Wounded yourself. Well, we done this in Richmond last week.
And for the NASCAR fans, the ones who know a lot about NASCAR, Alan Kulwicki, he did win the championship this year. Like, going into the season, I already knew that because I'm not one to brag, but I know a lot about NASCAR. Even though I wasn't alive back in this time period, I was born in 2000. But, you know, Kulwicki had that won the championship and great driver. Unfortunately, you know, he got killed in a helicopter crash in '93 in Tennessee, outside of Bristol.
Whatever works, you know. Mike.
Same thing with.
Trouble in turn 1. A lot
Oh,
of
we
smoke out of
got
Wally
trouble.
Dolan's car as he went way up high, skittering in turn number 1, and this may be that caution Schrader was looking for.
Camera
There are NASCAR
angle.
observers down there to see if anything's
Don't know who it is, but they said someone was up near the wall.
Off to the inside, no indication. It looks like we're going to stay green here. Tense moment up there for Wally Dallenbach.
That was Wally Dallenbach. Yeah, he's struggled in this race, and I mean,
Bill Elliott pulls up on the back bumper of Brett
he's
Bodine.
at least 8 laps
in
down.
15th position, 1 lap down.
Well, 90 got loose there.
Art Strickland.
But Bill's just racking up them points with all these laps led.
You see Tony
being up
the
front.
crew chief for the 4 car. He stepped over. He was just over about 5 foot to the right, just really getting in the face of the inspector.
All the people on the crew for Ernie
He
Irvin.
jumped over that wall. They better get that other foot back. The inspector will be talking to the driver for him.
You see the
But
extra
they're really
tires in
needing
the
caution.
background.
They're trying their best to get them to throw that caution
And
flag.
Dover's been known to chew up tires and have a lot of tire issues.
Same results too.
Right. Rick Mast and Ricky Rudd here.
So tires were a big need.
Mast in 25th spot,
There.
4 laps back.
Even
Rudd is
now, I
among that
guess,
group of cars, 1 lap
from
down,
the
in
92
12th.
season.
They got together a little bit in the back straightaway a lap ago.
Because they were talking a little bit ago about
Second and
how
third place
teams
here.
are trying to get extra
Dan
tires from other people.
Mike, that's pretty amazing. And buddy, you know yourself. Here's a guy that's lost a cylinder. Steve Mills.
Mark Martin's
Kind of
catching
what's going to happen. He said, you
Gann.
know, they'll get away from us on new tires. But as soon as the tires get hot, we'll be able to gain back on them. They're down on top. And here comes the 6 wheeling Gann in. He's on
It's almost 11 o'clock now.
Right up in front of the race.
They're coming up on quite a group of cars.
And we're coming up to,
Bodine, Davey Allen.
wow, timing's going to be close. So we're 7 minutes from the halfway point of the video, and I started the video around 16 minutes. So,
laps from halfway. Here it's over now.
yeah, the race will probably be over by 1. I think, or 12. No, it'll be around 1 o'clock.
And this crazy caution thing happened. He's second. They're going to regroup and figure out what to do.
I don't think he
More
minds.
Skittles.
Bill Elliott is the race leader at 233 laps. Harry Gant.
Yeah, I'm almost halfway.
Ernie Irvin on the lead lap. Bill Elliott. Flies his own plane, and he's flown here to a 4.8-second lead. Flying that bird, that T-bird. Elliott's the point leader. He's running first. Davey Allison is 134 points back. He's running sixth. Alan Kulwicki is 164 points back and way back after falling out of this race here today. Harry Gant, Mark Martin, both poised to move up in the point parade.
Is RLC Wallace going to go 2 laps down?
5 car is going to be in 2 laps. I guess Schrader's taking about all they can of it, so they'll be going down the
I picked to win this race was either Mark Martin or Russell Wallace, and Wallace is...
That's not a great race.
His car has not been as fast as
by the way,
others.
to have to finish a race in a car that's giving Kenny Schrader a hard time, believe me.
Schrader's tough as they come. If he climbs out, there's a problem.
You know, that's the thing about Dover. There's no tunnel from the infield outside the track, so when you fall out of the race, you can't leave.
You can't escape.
That's right. There's quite a pool of available drivers for relief duty.
Here comes Schrader. If they do like they say, Mike, he's coming in, and boy, of all time, they probably would be nice if they could do it on a caution, because if he comes in, he's going to lose a lot of time changing drivers. They're starting.
Schrader just 1 lap down, but he'll lose at least a lap here.
Well, you know, you'll go as far as you think you can go. You say, well, I can make it a little bit more. And then that fumes and that thing gets you kind of woozy. You come off the corner and you really don't even realize.
Well, I didn't realize he was 10th. I thought he was back around 15th.
I noticed something else.
Interesting.
Sterling's got a helmet on with the air intake on the side. I hope
There's
that Kenny's got
Marlin.
his on, but because if he don't, that little tube don't give you much air up under that helmet.
That's that Parker pumper system.
Yeah.
The cold air box. I'm told that the crew has been radioing Schrader repeatedly to pit, telling him to pit. He says, won't come in.
Now Schrader's now like, well, I don't want anyone else in the car.
He knows.
Even though he should, probably, because of what happened.
It'll take a lot to make him come in. He'll faint that seat.
I'm surprised that car's still out there, considering he wrecked. He was the first caution of the race. He wrecked in turn 1 and 2. And he was able to get back on the lead lap, and now he's a lap down
It
again.
might be a better thing if he went ahead.
He's had an impressive race.
You can actually, and you might see it happen, the crew can actually call the flag stand and say, how about black flagging our guy, getting him in here? That's your last alternative to get the driver in.
Wow, only 4 cars now in the lead lap.
First time he ever came here, he finished 10th. Won here in the spring race last year. Has 7 top 10 finishes here in 15 starts.
I thought there'd be more cars in the lead lap around now, but we'll see how the rest of the race goes. We'll see what happs.
Here he comes.
Still halfway almost.
Brings it to pit road. He is 1 lap down. Mindful of the 40-mile-an-hour speed limit on the pit road. And this is when
He's
it hurts
going to
you,
lose
when you have to
another
make an
lap
unplanned
once
stop
Martin
under
gets
green.
in.
There has been some lobbying of NASCAR to allow green flag pit stops without the slowdown rule in the pit lane, but NASCAR said no in the interest of safety. We're going to keep that speed limit in. Schrader's out of the car.
The question you had, buddy, about the helmet, Schrader didn't use that system. There was no hose on his helmet, so
there's Ricky Rudd, who now takes over Schrader's position. 10.
This is going to be interesting. Where are they going to hook that hose up to?
Fresh air duct, I hope.
Yeah, Marlin's trying to get everything strapped into the way he likes it.
they stuck those in there. The ones you see in the window, they were added on the last set of caution flags trying to get Schrader some more air in the car.
Yeah, he's going to lose 2 laps now.
I drove that car in that same speed as tall as I am, so he's okay there.
Okay.
The biggest thing's getting the adjustment.
Look at the roof. Look at the hole in the roof that they've cut, trying to get fresh air in there. Just
Wow, I didn't even notice that till now.
That looks like Bobby Allison. He won Darlington one time. He had
Yeah,
to
Bobby.
cut the
Yeah,
like
I've read about that. Bobby Allison did that once.
Credited on,
That's-
what was it, muffler gun?
Yeah.
Air chisel.
They don't allow that nowadays. That's for sure. If they did that nowadays,
I don't know what
they
car it
wouldn't
was.
pass
I don't remember
inspection.
doing
They would get
Guys
paralyzed.
working trying to get them ducking
Man,
points.
they don't allow any freedom for car changes and stuff like that. You know, you have to be so precise on stuff now, and you can't barely overstep the boundaries. It's
When we see all that deal going
much
like that,
different nowadays than it was then.
take it halfway.
I wish it was more like this now.
We get back in for the day, so.
Our Our leader at the halfway lap is Bill Elliott, who takes home the $10,000 award of the Gillette Halfway Challenge. So stay by your phone. If you've entered today's Gillette Halfway Challenge contest, let people call you. You can correctly identify Bill Elliott as the winner of the Gillette Halfway Challenge. You'll win a Chevrolet Lumina Z34.
Yeah, this has been a long green flag run. I kind of predicted that this one would be another one.
Glenn Jarrett tracking Kenny Schrader, who looks like he may get a little bit of attention before we get a word with him.
Yeah, they're going to take him down to the infield hospital to cool him down.
Yeah, he needs, he's probably dehydrated.
Well, Mike, Ken Schrader is on his way to the infield care center. He took some oxygen on in the pits there. He is very woozy. I asked him if he was okay.
The camera guy ran right into him, bro.
So he'll get,
Ken's like, just leave me alone, let me be.
He needs some attention.
And the camera guy just like puts it right up to him. He's trying to get some water, you know what I'm saying, or some fluids, man.
Schrader dropped 15 positions in 3 laps, making the driver change.
I know a lot of people are talking about the drone they use for Fox uses whenever winners doing their burnout. Some people were talking about, oh, I hope one day one of the cars hits the drone, and I'm actually thinking the same thing too. Because I mean, yeah, it's sort of cool, but at the same time, to me, it's kind of cringe.
This place has been tough on him this year.
Just let the car do its burnout. Don't just fly the camera like right on the car, and you know, one day I feel like that person's right. There's going to be a drone get hit. Oh, we got a yellow.
Pace car will pick up the field here.
It's back to 25. He's caught now. 2 more laps down.
Just bring him right back into contention.
Really don't see anything, Mike. It might be debris on the track or something. Boy, Schrader and his guys just missed it by 4 or 5 laps on getting to make that change.
It is debris on the track. There's a joke about the French driver Jacques Debris bringing out the caution, but or Neil Bonet, I think I heard once. But now they've taken that joke one further down in the garage here. They call a debris flag a French caution flag. Yeah, debris. 255 laps. It's the 5th caution flag of the day.
I guarantee you, these drivers are glad to see these cautions too. This racetrack, you deserve a break.
Yeah, I mean, they need a break. It's been a long green flag run.
After the run that Ford Motor Company had the start of the season, amazingly, a Ford has not won a Winston Cup race since Davey Allison won it.
Yeah, it's been a little while since a Ford has won. I mean, I've noticed that too.
The Blue Oval's been at Victory Lane.
This place catered to the Fords as well as it does. Suits their cars. This is their best shot right now.
Pit stops.
Well, they don't have any trouble getting the pit.
No, the leaders that were on the lead lap are now going to pit.
Stop right now. There's what, 3 or 4 cars on pit road.
We'll see who gets back in the lead lap and all that. See the leaderboard once things get cycle through.
We should explain on that last restart, there were cars in front of the race leaders that were still on the lead lap. What happened? Those cars ended up on the tail end of the lead lap. They made pit stops. Well, when the leader comes in,
Dan got out before Bill did. That's kind of surprising.
The pace car. That's why it looks so jumbled up on the restart.
Yeah, they're like 7/8 of a mile behind.
Yeah. A little excitement there. Harry Gant's crew beat Bill Elliott's crew through the pit stop then, put him in the lead.
And Ernie Irvin back on the lead lap as well, or still on the lead lap, and right up there with the leaders. Steve?
Well, Andy, great pit work. I put you in the lead, as a matter of fact.
That's good. I didn't see that. But, yeah, we got a good break here today when that caution came out. Hopefully we can capitalize on it.
I'm sure you're not complaining, but this is really earlier than usual for Harry to be in front at Dover.
Well, you know, we got behind early, too. You know, I felt like we weren't going to get back up to the front, and we probably wouldn't without that break.
Yeah, and great stuff.
Thank you.
257 laps complete. We're under caution. First race here at Dover some 24 years ago. Richard Petty beat Sonny Hutchins and James Hilton, July 6, 1969. Bill Elliott continues among the front 3, and we asked his crew chief, Tim Brewer, how you're set up for Bill compared to other drivers.
Depending on characteristics of racing tires. You know, back a few years ago when we ran the bias tires here,
I don't like how they're playing the music while he's talking. Like, play the music afterwards.
Now Bill wants something different from everybody.
But
so it's dictated
I
by
can't
really
change
the
that.
combination
This
that
is
you're
1992. I
Mark
can't
and
say
my
anything about either. Tell them what
relationship
to
goes
do. I
way
mean,
past
search.
business. I'm sure in a previous contest.
Probably gonna skip ahead here.
Going with Neil Bond track was a pair of pliers.
Okay. Harry Gant's in the lead. Yep. Ernie Irvin, Shepard's in 5th.
Turn number 1 now.
They're going to show
No, that didn't
anybody
come
else.
rolling down out of the grandstand. Something a mechanic left in a car during some of the preparations for this race.
I guess it was Jock DeBree driving.
They said Irvin was back on lead lap, so that means if Shepard's not a lap down, then that means there's probably 6 cars on the
We're
lead
getting
lap
ready to
or
go back to
5.
racing.
Morgan Shepherd's got
There could be
Jeff
more.
O'Donnell's got
I'm
a
not
real
sure
shot
though.
at making his lap up here. He's on the inside.
And we're
Yeah, we're
back
back
to green.
green.
Harry Gant leads him down. He had the fastest pit stop. Bill Elliott. Ernie Irvin.
Yeah, there's Dale Earnhardt. He's trying to get a lap back. Oh, he's going to really force the issue.
Came all the way around. Well,
They almost got into Gant there, but Gant's just going to power Bob O'Donnell in the outside here.
Run up off the corner. Jeff Bodine's going to dive it in there hard once more. Here's Earnhardt.
Here comes
right
Dale. Dale Earnhardt's trying to get back on the lead. Oh, we got a wreck.
Here we go.
And here comes the whole
Did anyone else hit him? I don't think so. Wow. I'm surprised no one else got involved in that.
The racetrack, and amazingly,
Wow.
everybody
But
gets
Dale
through.
got into Jeff
Now, did the
Bodine,
leader
and he
get the
round he
caution
goes.
flag? He did, and Irvin beat him back to the line. I mean, Earnhardt, rather. Got back to the line ahead. The leader did take the caution. Earnhardt's back on the lead lap.
Wow. I'm sure Bodine's not too happy about that. But it looked like a racing deal. I mean, he was trying to get Bodine out of the way because Bodine was having a hard time getting by Gant to get back on the lead lap, and Earnhardt just got into him a little too hard up the corner.
Well, he got caught on that same caution deal that some of the other guys
I thought
did.
Mark Martin was going, or not Mark Martin, I thought Harry Gant was going to hit the 15, but I don't think he did.
To the flag. But let's have a look.
Here's a replay.
Okay, here they come up out of the corner. It looks like Bodine's car might have just jumped out just a little bit right there. Here comes Earnhardt up under him.
Yeah, Earnhardt.
There's your
Robin's
contact.
racing, you know what I'm
I tell you,
saying?
It don't take much. Just a
Yeah,
brush.
just
and there
got
it
him
goes
loose,
sideways.
and I don't know
That's a
how
shame for
anyone
Bud
else
Moore
did
and
not
those
get
guys.
hit.
That car was running really well.
Where does Gant go here? Look at Gant sitting behind this thing leading the race.
The good part is these guys cleared him without.
How did they miss that? That's crazy. You know, with Gant having hardly any vision there, he just has to be there and, like, hope he doesn't get hit, but also hit the brakes. And then he gets by Elliott, and Bodine spins and hits the inside wall.
One of the advantages having a bank straightaway.
That's pretty crazy.
Okay, you see him bump him right here? That's just enough.
But Bodine did.
No way
Bodine's
the two lead
wrecked
cars
plenty of
cleared
people
this
this
wreck.
season,
It just
so
happened, sat right directly in front of him.
I'm
Like
sure
Buddy said,
some
the
guys
bank
like
is starting
DW
off
were
the track.
happy to see him
Getting
get
those guys
spun
looked
out.
up, I'll tell you that Gant missed him by 2 inches if he didn't touch him a
Yeah.
little bit.
All these guys did a great job.
Bodine's a great
Look at
guy,
Davey
though.
right here.
Oh, wow.
Kyle and
Davey
got
hit the
together.
wall. He got pinched
Davey's
into
up
the
in
wall by
They got
Petty.
nowhere for him to go.
And you see how Ernie Irvin
They're
gets
showing a lot of replays of this
Grant
track.
is the leader. He's the third car in line.
I want to see another
Outside.
full speed version
Irvin
of
in the yellow
this.
car on the bottom and Bill Elliott up high. The cars that are on the outside have to
And look at all the
get
fans,
hard
you
on
can
the
see
brake.
them, like,
And there goes
standing
Irvin on the
up,
right
or
side of
about
your
to
screen.
stand
He's
up.
the new leader. Then Gant,
It
then
seems like
Elliott.
most of them
Boy,
are
Davey
standing
almost
up
got pinched into the
because
wall
it
there
was
by
a
Kyle.
restart. Oh, wow, look at all these people. Whoa, that's a traffic jam right there. Wascon's the back of the 8. Okay, we're back green. Wow, so that was
Green flag with
that was
Irvin out
quick.
front.
Caution
And
period.
the complexion of this race changes again. With Earnhardt back on the lead lap. We saw Jeff Bodine just getting back into the race, down on the apron, coming out of the
Here
pits
comes
as we went
Davey.
back
He's
to
trying to
green.
get back on the lead lap,
Kyle
too.
Petty fighting and along with Ricky Rudd. They're trying to get back in it.
Now they're on the tail end of the lead lap. Here's Gant coming back after the lead on the bottom.
I looked over in the
And these
booth
restarts have been
and
pretty
we were watching
crazy.
Rerun, so was NASCAR at the same time. I think they agreed with us. It was just something that happened.
So
It
Kyle
certainly
Petty,
wasn't
Ricky Rudd, Ernie Irvin are back on the lead lap.
They all but Rick,
Gant's
buddy.
leading.
Right behind the shot
I
here.
think
There's a
Bill
big
Elliott's
mix-up back there.
second.
They got straightened out.
Earnhardt came right through the middle of that pack.
Oh no, Urban's leading. Okay, so Urban got back on the lead lap. Not last caution, but the one before, so he's leading. Okay. I don't know, I don't recall seeing him passing Gant when Bodine spun out, but he must have. Oh, never mind. I know why. He got by Gant after the spin happened because he was behind Earnhardt racing back to the flag. I felt so dumb saying that. Damn, been stammering too much. About that 45 minutes to midnight.
Lap, and the flagman's telling you to get out of the way of the leader, so they have a choice there. They need to move along or get out of the way, but they can't just stay right in front of it.
And you can't just roll
Like, move, get out
you
the way,
get
out the way.
Urban's that racing room, he's leading the race, but the other two cars are plenty fast.
And here comes Earnhardt. He's the fourth place car.
Earnhardt's in fourth now. Jeez, he's moved his way up. He's out. He's catching him.
Ernie Irvin is the fifth different driver.
Mark Martin must still be a lap down.
Earnhardt, Gant, make that six.
I don't know.
Elliott.
I don't think I think Mark Martin's on the lead lap. Oh, we got a wreck again.
That's Sauter on the left side of your screen.
Couple cars in this one.
2 or 3 of them down that apron. It's such a steep bank in the back straightaway.
Oh man, the 71
looks like
and
car. Is that his down there?
Yes.
oh man, the 25 Marlin who had just got in to replace Schrader's in it. Man, Marlin just can't catch a break, can he?
A free pass to come around and join the lead lap.
That's what we were talking about. They had to stay there, even though the flagman wanted them to get out of the way. Now they're back in the lead lap again.
Well, the complexion of this race changed. Kyle, we're told, has now made up nearly 2 laps. He'd almost gone 2 laps down a bit earlier. After that penalty on pit road for going too fast.
We'll see where that car set Mike right now, Mike, but it looked like there was a lot of skid marks where he hit further back up the track. Let's see what happens.
Okay, let's see.
Coming off the corner, you see him
Oh, it
all the way
happened
off
off turn
back there.
2.
A couple of cars tangled up. Yeah, you're right. There's Jeff Bodine right there turning around.
Man, Bodine again.
71 cars.
It looked like the 25 got into
with
Bodine and then the 71 just got caught up in it.
Wrap on the inside wall.
I think the 71's Jim Sauter.
We saw him stopped earlier.
That's exactly right. The 15 car broke loose back there, and these guys went out and hit the outside wall and spun to the inside.
Another look at it.
Oh, this is a cool view.
Underway.
I wonder how these, look, they're backing up.
These guys right here are going to get them a good picture, either some sheet metal in their face. I'm not sure which.
That's why I'm not.
I don't think they allow fans. Well, they could probably allow fans to sit on the backstretch around there or stand there now. I don't know if they still do that.
I had nothing but blue sky.
But I remember back in the 2000s they would have campers up around here.
7 cars are now on the lead lap at lap 270. Irvin, Gant, Elliott, Earnhardt, Morgan Shepherd, Kyle Petty, and Ricky Rudd are on the lead lap.
Music, so I have to mute. Skip ahead a little bit.
Grandstand here at Dover down.
A better time. Now, you came in this last time while we were away in commercial, just for a chassis adjustment, it appears.
Well, we're trying to make the car suitable to the tires. You know, ever since it's a little bit different, and these tires only had like 4 green flag laps on them, and now we know what they're going to do, and we hopefully suited the chassis to the tires, and we're not getting quite as good fuel mileage as we need, so the extra fuel may help us near the end.
You took a little bite out of it, it looked like.
Yeah, this set of tires, like I said, is just a teeny bit tight, and you know, it felt like we get a little bite
yeah,
out of it.
Irvin was really good at super speedway tracks, that's for sure.
Mike, you know, we hear that all the time.
He won the
all the tires are just
Pepsi
alike,
400
we've been to the radios
at Daytona earlier this season.
But still, when he's talking about that,
And I think he won,
you know, when we show that picture in the pits,
honestly, he won one of the Talladega races, too.
There's a little bit of difference in all those tires. These guys will actually cater set.
I know Davey Allison won the first Talladega race this season.
Who supplies the tires for all the Winston Cup teams. Has different compounds of rubber and
they're still in Marlin going to the infield care center.
Walk into the care center that they use for the different racetracks. And Goodyear elected to come here to Dover with a harder compound tire than what they ran when they were
still
here
haven't got his
earlier in the
car
year.
out yet.
To try to give the cars in this set.
There's been a lot of caution laps here.
Chevy have to enter, get the whole car.
Oh, well, he won the car.
Hooking up to Ken Schrader's car, going to put it on the rollback. Richard Petty runs his last over race here. He started every one of them. The only driver that came close to that number of starts here, J.D. McDuffie, has started every single race at Dover. 274 laps complete. Harry Gant up front. Glenn Jarrett.
Well, certainly just not your day. First your car gave up and you got tangled up in a mess out there. What happened?
It looked like a 15-car spun over there, and I guess the 71. I was right behind him, and I seen him spin, went high, and the 71 cut up to miss 15, and, turned Kenny's car to the wall, and, man, I hate it for him. I was wanting to run. Kenny's get out in there, and he said, I guess I don't owe you much. You didn't run too long, but I hate to tore the car up, and, we'll get him next week.
Okay, better luck next time.
Ken Schrader was 14th in points coming into this race. Sterling Marlin was 16th in points coming into this event. Bill Elliott owns a lead of 134 points over Davey Allison. Let's go to Steve Evans.
All right, I got my Buck 98 calculator out here, and that $10,000 Bill Elliott earned here today made him only the second driver to top $12 million in Winston Cup earnings.
Oh, wow.
I don't have to tell you guys up there who the #1 money earner is, and there's a big gap between he and Elliott, about $3 million bucks.
Of course, if Dale Earnhardt had all that money,
The way they pay now, that's a half a season.
yeah.
Buddy, you were talking before the top of the show about your dad. Won the championship, won a bunch of races, and you look back at the purses they won back then, it's unbelievable what it's gone to, isn't it?
Yeah, but that back end, $1 was $1 too. That has a lot to do with it. Also, folks, when we talk about Harry Gant, we all love him up here in the booth, and he's certainly not an old man. He's a lot younger than a bunch of people out there, believe me.
Yeah, we got one of the calls. One of us stuff we call the Harry Gant old man by anything.
All right, getting to the restart here.
Six different drivers have led this race. Let's check with Glenn Jarrett real quick.
Ken Schrader has been released from the infield care center. Ken, first thing, are you okay?
Yeah, we just had a little nuclear meltdown there. Sterling just come in and said,
A
damn, you
nuclear
did have a hot
meltdown.
box there. And I've never had to get out of the car, and I don't think I'm going to do it again, but I had to today.
Had to be a bad feeling to be sitting in there and see the guy that got in your car come in there after a crash.
I felt real bad for Pop and Rick and the whole Kodiak team. Because we haven't given them much to talk about this year. We're not done yet, but I was glad to see Sterling was okay.
Okay, better luck next time.
When he talks about Pop and Rick, that's Rick Hendricks, and Rick Hendricks' dad is listed the car owner, Schrader's, and you talking about a racer, he loves it.
Davey Allison trying to get his lap back. Bill Elliott holds him off. Harry Gant, the race leader. New third-place car. Fellow we talked about at the top of the
I know I'm not really talking a lot right now, but I'm getting a little tired.
And running third.
It's late at night, and
Rod in that tied car.
not much to say at
Back
this second.
straightaway.
Oh, we got another wreck
5,
again?
6, 7 cars.
Keep counting, Mike. Keep counting.
7?
I'm telling you, it's the best of them.
I collected a bunch of them, including Richard Petty. He was right in the middle of that.
Oh man, Richard
Davey
Petty
Allison
was in it
does not get
too.
back on the lead lap.
And there's Dick
And
Trickle.
Elliott beat him to the line.
It's just a
Trickle's
pile of
Richard Petty up against the
smoke
inside
back there. You
retaining
can't
wall.
see everybody.
Boy, there's some more. The #1 car, Rick Mast.
Man, Rick
There's
Mast,
Jim Sauter,
man.
71.
Looks like a 9 car of Chad Little up on the left.
Wow, there's
Dave
a
Marcus.
there's a lot of
Excuse me, Jimmy
cars
Means.
now. Man, the
There's
43's
Darrell
destroyed.
Waltrip
Darrell
going up there, coming
Waltrip's in it.
90 car of Hut Strickland.
Jimmy Means.
And these
Yeah.
are the ones that just stopped. There were several.
A lot of
that
cars
drove
involved in
damage
this
through
one.
The wreck.
Field's about got to stop to get through. Chad Little.
Wow, look at that.
Waltrip.
And Waltrip had been having great runs the last couple of weeks
Really improved
in the
point,
season.
won a bunch of
He's
races.
toast.
Big problem then. There's-
And look at that.
Boy, look at that thing of Trickles.
Man, Trickle is having a good race too.
This car of
His
Trickle's
car's
looks like a gremlin.
his
Look
car
at the
is
back of that
smoking
car. There's
a
nothing
lot.
there.
Yeah, this is to make you appreciate fuel cells, folks. That hose hanging out there is the overflow hose for a fuel cell, and it's literally knocked on the ground, and there's not a bit of fuel coming
All
out.
the fans are cheering for Waltrip's wreck.
It's going to be tough.
Bruh.
Going his pit, he's got the wheel hung all the way out to the left.
Made it. 10 cars were involved. Richard Petty, Dick
Yes.
Trickle, Mike Waltrip.
Seems like it was
Jim
one of the
Sauter,
biggest
Chad Little,
Bristol,
Jimmy
or
Means,
not Bristol,
Darrell
Dover
Waltrip,
wrecks.
Hut Strickland, Dave Marcus,
We'll see a
and Rick Mast.
replay of
I see
it
Richard
hopefully
Petty moving
soon.
around in there. I seen the racket he uses right to
Petty's car is destroyed. He really hit somebody hard.
Telling them what to do, so
He's okay. Ernie Irvin on pit road, one of the top 5 cars.
You know, it's amazing. You see these drivers in the kind of wrecks we just saw. the first thing that comes to their mind, let's get this thing cranked, get it back around there, and try to get it back in the race. No matter how bad you tear one up, you think you can always fix it.
Well, I don't know about that one.
I was
Back
bragging on
end
that
of
fuel
that's
cell. It doesn't do them any good to
destroyed.
drag them on the ground.
No.
So they'll have to
Get
get
a
in
9 of Chad Little.
car.
He's okay. We need updates on Jeff Purvis. He did climb out of the car that he wrecked up in turn 4 and is okay. Chad Little's all right.
Oh, he picked his nose on
Took an
camera.
mandatory ride to the
Oh,
Care Center.
man. Caught in 4K.
Here's Glenn Jarrett.
Well, here's Rick Masters brought his car to the garage area. Rick, can you tell us what happened out there?
Not really. I came off the corner and the only thing I seen was smoke and cars everywhere. Our alternators went out about the 100th lap mark. We've been running on 6 cylinders.
Okay,
Just
so
kinda
that's
riding
why
in
his
there.
car, like,
It was a
faded
big
out
car, I
pretty
tell you,
much
the
early
problem
on
right
just
now
because
is
of
the
that.
track is real super slick with these restarts. It's a lot of rubber, a lot of dirt on the racetrack, and the guys are having a heck of a time holding on.
Okay, that's the story from Rick Mast. He has heavy damage to the right side of the car. They're going to try to get the thing fixed and back.
Yeah, we had a
out
red
there.
flag probably.
So let's go back upstairs.
Look at
to
all
the
those
store.
vehicles
Daryl
and
Waltrip,
tow
Davey
trucks
Allison,
and stuff on the
Jim Saw are
back
on
stretch.
pit road
It's
right now.
crazy.
Bobby Hamilton, Rusty Wallace, and Brett Bodine making
When
stops.
we've had
280 laps to
3
complete.
straight
We'll have
cautions in a
replays.
row of
Jam
wrecks.
session on the backstretch. When we come
Definitely
back.
more wrecks than I thought they were going to be today. Or
Just
in
a
this
moment
race.
ago,
It's not
Richard
today.
Petty,
It's,
after a chat with Jimmy Martin.
this is 1992, not today.
Special assistant walked into the care center. He is okay. Dick Trickle's car is not.
Yeah, his car's done for. I mean, the fuel
And
line's
then it's
messed
deadly
up.
non-smoking area.
Daryl Waltrip's car trying to repair.
Oh, it looks
Here's a
Triple
replay.
Trickle got
Man, he
sideways
really
there,
got
got
loose
up
off
into
the
the wall.
corner.
Comes across the racetrack, and here we go.
Yeah, and then
Earnhardt just
a
missed.
couple guys got
Everybody
together off
behind
turn
him,
2
they can't
behind
see, they don't
them,
know
trying to
where he's at,
avoid it.
jam on
And
the brakes, and it just starts
yeah,
a
just
chain
a
reaction.
lot of people
I mean, this, but
just
people
nowhere to go.
Come right through the middle
right
of
through.
it.
There's Morgan Shepherd making it through. It's no
No,
different
you
than
can't
when
even
you're
really
going down the
see
road
what
and running
happened
down
to, like,
Bond Lane
Richard
on an
Petty
interstate. That's exactly
or
what you get into.
Daryl
That's
Waltrip.
right.
Okay, here's Trickle.
This is probably the best
Up,
view.
you see the car brake loose right there.
There's Earnhardt and Rusty going by on the inside.
Of course, right now you got 24 spotters all screaming into the radios.
Look at Derek Coates there. You
Oh.
talk about skirting by.
Nah, it's focused on the
You know,
8. We're not going to
5-6
see the
years
other cars.
back Before we had these safety cells and all, that would have been an awful fire.
This
there.
is
There were two
another
cars
angle.
that would definitely caught on fire with the old fuel system.
Okay, so the 9, okay, so Petty had already
Chad Little
hit
together.
Waltrip, and the 9 of
And then
Chad
came-
Little
and then
got
they
put
came
in the
down
wall
into
with the
Waltrip.
43.
Looked like maybe they'd already, Richard already gotten back, and maybe Walter. He had the nose really caved in before he got in the outside wall.
Glenn Jarrett.
You can see the crew trying to repair some of the damage to the number 8 Snickers Ford. A lot of damage. Hard to believe that they was able to drive that car back in here.
Man.
Dick, looked like the thing got out from under you. What happened out there?
Well, it got out from under me. We were all tight in the pack on the restarts. They're just bumper to bumper, you know, and I was just going fast, the car ahead of me, and, you know, somebody just knocked the living hell out of me. And, I mean, just knocked the car right out of the, I don't know why, but I just got hit terrible hard and just knocked the car clean out from underneath me. And of course, everybody's in a tight pack and just scrambled up everybody. And, you know, the Snickers Ford was running real good. We're in the top 3. We got to cut a tire down and got a lap down, but we were in a hunt to get third place, you know, and probably pick our lap back up. No, I just don't know. I'm not sure who hit me, but there might have been some kind of mess up behind me, too, that somebody else got hit. I don't know.
Okay, thanks a lot. Steve Evans?
Well, it's mandatory, Chad, when you're in a train wreck like that you...
I don't know. It's just one of those deals. The chain reaction. I saw the Snickers car, the 8 car, you know, hit the wall hard coming out of turn 2, and
Yeah.
can't slow down in time. And you know, it's just one of those deals.
Hey, this
we all
is
tried to
full
go high
speed.
and got pinched into the wall, and then everyone's spinning around, and it's the way it goes.
Did it look like anybody hit Dick Trickle?
I couldn't tell you. When I saw him, his car was completely in the air and pieces going everywhere. He hit the wall pretty violently, so I don't know what got him in the wall, but you know, it wasn't very far in front of us, and it left the 8 or so cars that were behind him with nowhere to go.
Well, cars can be fixed. The most important thing, all of you are okay.
Yeah, I think everyone's okay, and you know, it's a tribute to the good, safe cars, and just try to get them next week.
Thanks, Chad.
Chad always had an upbeat attitude, you know, despite
activity on the
getting
back
wrecked
straightaway.
and having a bad day on the track.
We'll be right back to Dover Downs after this. Sporting a belt that race. So we had a good place here, 283 laps, 8
Okay.
cars on the lead lap, 8 lead changes among
Okay, so I predicted 8 cautions, so there's still a long ways to go. So there's probably going to be more than 8 cautions.
I don't know. He's right behind the pace car also. So
I want to skip
I see Harry and Phil now.
Tired of yawning too much.
Yeah.
I want to skip ahead so when they get back going again, but also they didn't.
Earnhardt in third, Ricky Rudd in fourth.
They didn't. They don't have this. I'm going to risk it.
Well, we just went back to green, but it didn't last long.
Another wreck,
and then a jam up front. Brett Bodine's on pit road. A lot of damage to the Quaker.
Good grief! It's become a wreck fest here at Dover.
Ernie Irvin.
They went back green while they were in commercials, and another wreck. Brett Bodine's in it.
There's Brett behind the wall. Dale Earnhardt's car was
oh, not Earnhardt. He was having a good run today. He's having a good run the race. Now he's involved too.
Back under the green because the tires are not hot and they don't stick to the racetrack, and everybody's trying to get these laps back because that one.
Ah man, that's unfortunate. Just another, just bad luck again for the 3 team.
A little bit of damage, but he was very slow coming down the back straightaway. Fracas in turn 1. Kyle Petty also making a stop, and Mike Waltrip. I believe the black flag had been out for Waltrip. His number was up on the board.
I wonder if they have a replay of it. They probably don't, since it was under commercials.
Like Earnhardt, you're seeing,
they're about 3
okay, never mind, we
going
did
in there.
So this was on the restart.
Down under, they have contact there.
Wow.
Brett Bodine and
26 just forced the issue there on Wallace and the Ford. Wow, Wallace spun out.
Get a look on.
Irvin may have saved it.
Wallace carried Bodine up, whether he was just up there or whether Irvin was coming down.
That's what happened. He just went in under him, and there wasn't room there, and the two of them made a little contact. He tried to move over, and he caught him.
Also, let's look for Earnhardt. There he is. See what happened to his car.
Basically, the guys trying to stay in the lead lap or get their lap back just got together.
Okay, it looks like Davey Allison's following.
I wonder how Dale got his damage. He probably hit Wallace or Irvin.
Yeah, that's what he did. He got into the 2 car right there.
Yeah, he did.
What goes up must come down.
Yep.
And then Irvin spun back up the track.
He's dodged a couple today.
It's going to be interesting onboard view.
Well,
there's Earnhardt just up into his
smoke
right.
before you see the actual deal there. Here we go.
It's Davy's view. He don't even see anything here.
When you drive into that smoke, you know they're coming down. There's nothing.
He just has to, wow. Davies had 2 close calls in this race to where he could have been involved, but barely escaped.
Right into that cloud.
Here's Rusty, I think.
On the restart.
Okay, so it wasn't the 26 fault. Rusty dove underneath because the 26 had a bad start, and there just wasn't enough room.
And again.
I don't even know if I would put blame on anybody for this wreck because it looked like
guys, right now, the
it was
crew
just
is
a
working,
racing
trying
deal.
to get the hood pin bolt off so they can raise the hood and see if there's any further damage. They can't raise the hood right now. Their biggest concern is this damage that you see on the left front where all the guys are congregated. They have not done anything else other than just try to repair the sheet metal damage, so that appears to be all there is.
Skip ahead.
Well, Ernie Irvin was in for this.
Let's try it again. 9 caution flag.
I'm about to get up and get some more water in a little bit.
200 laps to go.
200 to go. My guess is if there's still this much left in the race,
that has been the story.
And there's 200 to go, then there probably was maybe 1 or 2 more cautions. Probably not a whole lot more.
This one is a lot more sedate, if you will. Bill Elliott jumps out with the lead. Davey Allison 1 lap down, trying to get his lap back.
Allison was on the lead lap. Okay.
9th place car. Earnhardt's car sits on pit road as the race goes on.
Yet again, misfortune for the 3 car. It's going to lose a lot of laps.
That car is going to be pretty wide to get by, wouldn't you think, Neil?
Yeah, he'd like to keep Davey a lap down.
The camera looks like it was damaged.
Davey gets back to the lead lap and takes points for it.
Bill's car sparking there as it went down into the corner. Here's the battle for fifth. Morgan Shepherd there with Dale Jarrett, Kyle Petty. Ernie Irvin's in there as well. Darrell Waltrip completed an 18-minute, 40-second pit stop. Now 12 laps down, but he's back in the race.
What's amazing about that, Mike, in 18 minutes, they totally rebuilt the race car. That thing was torn all two pieces.
Still in the hunt, running 22nd.
Davy's still trying that lap back. Get down the inside of Bill.
I tell you, he may have a messed up hand, but he's driving the wheels off this race car. You'd never know that's an injured man in that car. And he has his lap back.
And give him credit. That's a car.
Davy's back on the lead lap.
In 3 of today's wrecks. There were 2 that he missed by inches.
You know, right now, Davy would like to have a caution, but we don't have enough cars left. There's so many cars out of the race. The odds are off on getting another caution.
Here's the race for 5th place. Morgan Shepherd trying to hold Dale Jarrett at bay.
Dale Jarrett's had some good runs on short tracks, so maybe Dale Jarrett could get a top 5 finish.
Here than we think just a little bit earlier. I think he's got to say, well, we just want to finish now. We're going to move up in the points, all of them.
Let's go down toward Brett Bodine's car. Steve Evans.
Well, Brett Bodine, the man who was in the middle of that wreck, is right here on pit road, not the garage area, trying to get his car repaired. Standing in the right front.
So they're doing it behind the pit wall. They're working on instead of going to the garage area. I mean, that sort of helps because you don't have to carry the tools all the way back to the garage area.
800 calls was whether or not Harry could take over the point lead if he won today. He cannot. He is 214 points behind Bill Elliott. So even if Elliott dropped out, Gant would not.
Here's Ricky Rudd.
Move back around, Davey.
He's been like, Harry Gant and Rudd were up front for a little while, and then they fell back, and then they're now back up. Like, Gant started towards the back, he worked his way up. Ricky Rudd's been towards the front, but he fell back, and he's now up there trying to contend for the win.
Won here in 1986 and 87.
Yeah, I think this race will probably end up coming down to field strategy again. The live races in 1992 has.
People will tell you that Ricky Rudd's one of the best slick track drivers that's ever driven a Western Cup car.
Because a lot of these guys that were fast,
he really knows how
like had fast cars, just fell out of contention because they either got caught lap down or they got wrecked.
Ride is 3rd. A bumper behind Harry Gant.
Like Mark Martin had the fastest car early on in the race, and he's stuck back there. We need just more cautions to get back up, back on the lead lap, that or just staying out, not pitting.
And take 2nd place.
Is that did Ricky Rudd just pass Gant for 3rd?
Down the road here.
He did. Who's trying to call me now? Someone's trying to call me. Go to sleep.
That picture looks good. He's grinning because he's in 2nd. We have all these smiling shots of these drivers, and they show them when they tear their cars up and all. That's not a true thing. They need ones when they're frowning.
Battle for 5th spot, Kyle Petty, Dale Jarrett.
Kyle is just dug all day long. He's been down, he's worked his way back. The car seems plenty fast. They just had a few breaks and got back in the pack. This car is going real fast right now.
Let's make that 4th position. Kyle in 4th. Jarrett in 5th. Morgan Shepherd 6th. Mark Martin 7th. And with that banged up nose, Ernie Irvin is 8th, but on the lead lap. There's Shepherd running in and amongst traffic. Terry Labonte, who was 2 laps down right behind him. There's Irvin's car, and you see the banged up nose. What's the effect of that at these speeds?
Well, it does everything along. It wants to carry the nose going down the corner and loses all its aerodynamic qualities. It's just a mean race car right now.
I'll tell you what it does, Mike. We've been running on green about 15 laps since that caution, and he's about 20 car lengths from being lapped. He was from being in contention to win the race, but right now they're going to lap him.
Yeah, with all that damage, him still being in 8th is pretty impressive. But that wreck had just happened, so, I mean, maybe the car will handle worse, though, as the race keeps going. Maybe he might even get a top 10 finish if he needs one.
Mother-in-law count. You can tell he's not running real hard right now. He's trying to finish the race.
And Rusty Wallace is just way off the pace now because of that wreck. He's just out there to try to get a little bit of points, but he's in 12th. He's gonna be a lot of laps down by the end of this if he keeps. Yeah, he's just getting blown by.
Davey Allison closed it right up on Bill Elliott. Davy's in 9th place, 1 lap down.
And Davey was on the lead lap for a little bit. I guess Elliott just passed by him again.
10th place battle has the 55 of Ted Musgrave just ahead of Terry Labonte.
Speaking of Ted Musgrave, I think everybody agrees he's one of the next stars in this division here. He's got a good head about him. You notice he never gets in trouble, and he runs pretty hard.
One of the best chassis men among the drivers in the garage. Used to design his own suspension system for the cars he raced on the short track. Davey Allison trying to get his lap back from Bill Elliott. And we're told Ricky Rudd is closing in on that duo.
Yeah,
Elliott
he is.
has not won since the 5th race of the season. Greg Fielden dug deep into his volume set of 40 years of stock car racing and found that no driver has won the Winston Cup Championship without winning a race after the 5th event of the season since Bill Rexford, who did it in 1950.
Yep.
5th race of the year was the last victory for Rexford. He went on to win the series championship. Nobody's done anything like that since.
And Bill Rexford's also the only NASCAR Cup Series champion to not be in the Hall of Fame.
Sure, Neil.
I can't remember who won 2 weeks ago. It's the first time I noticed on Elliott's car, he's got the nose rolled back on that car. So looks like he's got the grill area right there where it says Ford caved in. So these last few deals.
Elliott's been leading a lot of laps in this race.
And for the Waltrip fans, he's back out there going at it again.
Let's go to Glenn Jarrett.
Well, guys, they finally completed the work on Dale Earnhardt there, the oil cooler. I've got Richard Childers here. Richard, tough break there, lengthy repairs.
What?
I said tough break there, awfully long time to fix that car.
Yeah, you know, we broke the oil cooler and we had to get it. It was all knocked back against it. We had to make room to put it.
I'm gonna be right back, but I'm gonna keep it going. I have to put some stuff away.
We're cleaning up the mess that are left.
Earnhardt, defending Winston Cup champ, but 9th in the point standing, 430 points out of the lead, and not looking to gain ground on Bill Elliott today. If Elliott continues to lead this race and win it with Allison in the 8th position, where he runs right now, Elliott's lead would jump from 134 up to 177. We're showing Dale Earnhardt 22 laps behind. That pit stop took 8.5 minutes to replace the oil cooler on Earnhardt's car. There's your leader, Bill Elliott. 315 laps completed. Ricky Rudd chasing him down. We'll be right back. That hole looked like the one you drive off in down in turn number 1 here.
Yep. Sometimes you don't think you can get out of there. Some guys haven't been able to today.
Now there's Harry Gant. He's the 3rd place car. There's a look back to Kyle Petty in 4th. Kyle may be the quickest car on the racetrack right now. Glenn?
Well, guys, one of the things that happens when your father's in the race with you and he falls out of the race, you get to use his tires. I'm in Kyle Petty's pit, but these are Richard Petty's tires. They brought them down here for Kyle to use. You can see it says right front 43. So Dad falls out. Son's crew sends word, hey, we need some more tires. We're running short. Now, if you look right here, these tires at one time belonged to car number 15. I don't know how Richard got them from 15. Maybe when they crashed, this crew came down and took them away. I don't know, but right now Kyle Petty's got them, so he's got 3 crews worth of tires down here.
Well, I don't know, Glenn. Those wheels look kind of Petty blue. I'm afraid that might have meant set 15. Richard, 15 sets of tires at $1,100 a set. It's going to take more than my $1.98 calculator to pay that bill.
If anybody can handle it, cwilyt in the mellow yellow car can handle it.
Bill Elliott out front, leading by now 2.8 seconds. He has opened up the margin on Ricky Rudd.
Not only opened the margin on Ricky Rudd, but he's taken Davey Allison's chance of getting that lap back. Davey's fell way back and lost that opportunity to get the lap back.
Looking at our 800 number question, Gene from South Carolina just asked a $64 million question. How did Gant and Elliott get better gas mileage?
I think that's why Delmo had the tape out this morning, checking cars.
Yeah.
But a lot of guys do work on mileage. You know, Darrell Walker does the same thing. Real smooth with the throttle and everything. So they certainly check the tanks every week.
Well, Elliott's definitely
the same size fuel cell, and everybody
increased
runs the
his
same
gap.
gasoline. Union 76 or Unical provides the gas for all the tracks. But the way the engine's configured, the gear you pull in the rear end, even the circumference of your tires, there's a lot of things in terms of fuel mileage.
Yeah, the way it's going, I mean, Bill Elliott's the car to beat right now. There's Rudd in second, but
I say riding. He's been working hard to try to
Mark
gain
Martin, if he could just get
Bill
back on the
Elliott.
lead lap, I think he would have a chance. And then Harry Gant,
the last time Rudd visited
he'd
victory
be
lane.
the only other guy I think that can win this at the moment.
Brewers say is that Bill Elliott's a great close.
Be one of those four that I mentioned, and Davey Allison might have a chance so he just gets back on the lead lap.
Anybody can, Ricky will.
Runs well at this
And there's
racetrack,
Jeffrey
likes it
Bodine,
here.
who's been in 2
Does well
wrecks
here.
in this race.
There's
He's
Gant, second to third. You see the interval.
struggling along.
Then Kyle Petty in fourth. Dale Jarrett in fifth. Morgan Shepherd in sixth. Mark Martin in seventh, still on the lead lap.
Oh, so Mark Martin is on the lead lap. Okay. His car's definitely faded then. Just can't seem to get the speed that he had earlier. Maybe he, I don't know, maybe he got tired out a little bit too, because he put a lot of effort in the early going. He was just dominating, just way faster than everyone else and making crazy passes.
NASCAR or two between them. As he pulls up on Hut Strickland, driving for Junie Donlevy, and they move past Jim Sauter down on the apron, whose car was damaged in that earlier wreck. Everybody right down on the bottom of the racetrack here today. Again, they resealed this surface back in June. Didn't change it all for this race, but with the change in the tire compound and the adjustments on the chassis by these cars, they found they could keep the cars on the bottom of the racetrack. And there's
See
nobody
Darrell
out there in the Harry
Washington?
Gant
Yep.
group today. Yep.
DW's back on the track. There's a lot of cars out there with no hood and their engine exposed. Because of all the wrecks that have happened
Morgan Shepherd
over the last 100 laps or less.
down to get back on the lead lap and battle once again.
Dale Earnhardt's back on the track.
Here. As they work around Darrell Walker. Let's go down to the other Jarrett. Glenn?
Guys, I'm in the pit with my favorite driver, my younger brother Dale. This is my brother-in-law, his crew chief, Jimmy Maycar. Boy, you guys have had an uphill struggle all day.
Well, we're just kind of staying out of trouble right now. You know, things seem to be falling in place.
He's calling lap times to Dale. It's very important that he does that so they'll know whether the groove he's running is correct or not. What helmet is Dale wearing today?
Jet, New York Jet.
New York Jet. How did you say the car feels now? I know you've been adjusting on it all day.
Well,
Yeah,
it's not bad.
and
It's just a little bit off.
for every
right now.
race
We're
this
just kinda
season,
trying to ride this
Dale
thing out
Jarrett
the
had a
way the
different
race,
helmet, or he had a helmet with different
Right now, we're just
NFL
kinda
team
happy to be
logos.
sitting a car in one piece.
I'm pretty sure they said that the one he's wearing for this race is the New York Jets.
Ride it out to the end and hang on.
That was one of our 800 questions, was whose helmet does Dale Jarrett have on today? He wears a different logo of a different NFL team in every event. He's running like a Jet. Well, not Freeman McNeil, but
He's running like a Jet.
I'll tell you what, you got to have some fancy footwork today to dodge the wreck, so he's been doing a lot of things right.
How about Morgan Shepherd? They've come from a lap down. Morgan
Almost an hour left. Oof, man, I'm so tired,
Before the race
y'all.
didn't get a chance to run yesterday.
I've been up
The
since,
Fire 200.
oh, I mean, I was up late
Give you
last
half a
night,
full
and
standing update.
this
Lots
today I've
to
been
do
busy with
because there
stuff,
are no
and
unimportant parts.
man, I don't know, I'm just tired, y'all.
These cars on the lead
I
lap.
probably should have done this tomorrow morning or Wednesday morning instead of deciding to start it at 9 o'clock on a Tuesday night.
Then 3 laps down.
I'm not tired or bored or anything. It's just like I'm not like falling asleep because of boredom. I'm falling asleep because I'm just tired. If I had a soda, I'd probably still be awake, but I don't have a soda on me.
Dale Earnhardt,
like I usually do for my streams.
They're running after replacing an oil cooler from that crash back in lap 279.
It says Richard Petty was out. Yeah.
Watching Morgan run right here behind Dale Jarrett. He seems to be able to run.
I forgot where they said Darrell Waltrip was
when he does
at.
his car slides up high, he can't keep the car quite as low as he'd like to. They seem to be pretty evenly matched all the way around the track.
But after the race, we'll look at a racing reference and see who all finished where and look at some statistics
watching from here in Delaware, why Dale
to kind of
Earnhardt
recap the race.
for sending Jeff Bodine. We looked next door in the NASCAR booth, and as we were going over the replays,
Dale,
so was Les
Jarrett passed another Dale Earnhardt.
Concluded, as we did here in the booth, that the contact appeared unintentional. It was 2 cars running in real close quarters, but there was no intent by Earnhardt to spin Bodine around, so therefore no penalty. Intent has a lot. It's a ball and strike call, as Les Richter's fond to say.
Oh, intent. They're talking about if he intentionally wrecked Bodine.
With how a lot of the decisions are made.
No, that's true, and you know that's why they put erasers on pencils. We're not perfect. We do make mistakes every once in a while, but as you've seen right there, Earnhardt got out of the way and let Morgan go ahead. He's not that kind of driver. There was just contact, that's all.
Here's Mark Martin, who had the fastest car at the start of the day. Alan Kulwicki was on the pole, led through a lap. Mark Martin went to the front, stayed there for 46 circuits, and is still on the lead lap. They have a bit of engine trouble, as Steve Hamill reported.
Oh, he did have a little bit of engine trouble, so that was probably what happened. Okay, that was what happened to him.
They run 6 cylinders in the Busch Series. That's the best 7 I've ever seen right there.
Here's where the point leaders are running. Alan Kulwicki is out of the race. Came in here in 3rd in the points. He will likely, possibly surrender that spot to Harry Gant at the end of the day. We'll be back to Dover Down after these.
All right, we got music, so I'm gonna hit that. And Bodine back on pit road.
Bodine back into this race. Steve Evans.
They are just now finishing aligning the front end of the automobile. They use string to measure the wheel. They had Brett turn the wheel here, turn the wheel there. You know that if you run out of running your passenger car, your tires wear unevenly.
And Davey Allison has got his lap back again. He's gone by Bill. So that happened a little bit earlier, and he got lapped again, but now Allison has worked his way back by Bill Elliott.
From Bill Elliott.
Wallace, man, Wallace has just been getting lapped a lot.
Away, and then all of a sudden we look up and here he comes. I mean, he just drove
almost
on by.
150 to go.
Some type of small problem just at the moment.
Oh, Ernie Irvin's 2 laps down. Okay. So 8 cars on the lead lap.
Yeah.
Ted Musgrave's in the top 10 too.
Well,
That's pretty cool to
he's
see.
faster than Davey and says, so what if he's back in the same lap?
Davies driving away from him. Bill Elliott enjoys a 3-second lead on Ricky Rudd. Keep an eye on that. See if there's any indication that Elliott may have dropped the pace back a notch.
Sometimes you'll get the racing a guy like Elliott is trying to hold Davey back, and you'll run the car a little harder than you want to, and Rudd will actually start to gain in on. Bill could possibly start pacing himself and maintain that lead on Rudd. He's probably worried more with Rudd than he is Davey right now.
Well, let's find out from Glenn Jarrett.
Jim Brewer, Davey Allison was able to get his lap back. Is Bill's car okay?
Jerry, you know, we haven't changed our lap time, you know. He just stepped the thing up a little bit. I mean, that's what he's got to do right now. You know, it's no big deal to us.
Well, the car looks like it's really been performing well all day. You're just waiting till it's over now.
Well, you know, just kind of wading through the water right now. You know, things work real well all day, so long way to go yet. We can see what happens.
Things are very calm down here. They're very confident that they can wait this thing out with that 11 car.
Tim Brewer's a sharp guy. He knows you can't win this race at lap 350. Mark Martin and David are going a lap down. Let's go back to that race for fifth as Morgan Shepherd has now caught Dale Jarrett. Had a strong look underneath him, but Brett Bonine's car is up there as they get down into turn one. Morgan's car is coming up off the corner real well now.
I tell you, the Wood brothers have a great car for this racetrack, so don't be surprised that car is not one of the factors before this.
Yeah, Jared done
Rusty Wallace on pit road, green flag.
Jared and Shepard have been racing with each other for a good while. Shepard with the dive in there, and that was a good pass. Some cars have been having a hard time passing going into turn one, but Shepard made that look easy.
Good days for those people up here. But I tell you what, I learned about Dover, Delaware. Won a couple of races here, but I had 3 laps on the wheel one time with 20 laps to go and fell out and lost the race too. So you can never think you got this thing put away. Boy, this racetrack is so tough on them. But Woods do have a good combination for this track. And you're not supposed to tell everybody I'm having ice cream. It is a long race, though, isn't it?
So Morgan Shepherd goes on past and moves to try to chase down Kyle Petty, the fourth place car. Kyle was almost 2 laps down at one point. Got penalized on pit road on a green flag stop for coming down too fast. There's a look from the roof cam of Mark Martin's car up ahead of Jimmy Henslick.
Yeah, Bill lapped him just a second ago, and look how far ahead he is in just a few laps there.
Doesn't that motor sound different? This sounds like it's kind of loping along. Before, it was screaming up off the corner.
They don't get better. When that stuff starts running through there, it gets weaker as the race goes.
Fourth place is Kyle Petty. He has 4.5 seconds on Morgan Shepherd, and he is 3 seconds behind Harry Gant, running in fourth place. Glenn?
This is Robin Pemberton, the crew chief on Kyle's car. Robin, you guys have had pretty much an uphill struggle all day, too.
Yeah, it's been, we got 2 laps behind early, and we've been dodging all the wrecks as best we can. Right now, we're just trying to buy some time, 145 laps to go. Everybody will have to pit 2 more times, so see what happens.
Well, how does Kyle say the car is right now? Does it need further adjustment?
I mean, he's had a good race. You know, just as he mentioned, coming from behind, and he's raced his way to fourth at the moment. He may have a top 5 finish here, maybe even top 3.
Okay, just like everybody else, they're really waiting on the caution flag to be able to make those adjustments. They just hope that that caution flag, however, is not them.
Mike, we heard, you were talking about the 6 car a while ago. When they put the motors in these cars, say you got a 670 horsepower motor, after a race like Dover's over, if you're lucky enough for the motor to survive, you can hang it back on the dyno when you get home, and the thing will be down 50 or 60 horsepower. You wear the rings out, the valve job on the heads go away.
That's interesting.
The thing is just used up. You lose power all day long. Even one that finishes the race is a piece of junk.
Wow, I didn't know that. Well, I mean, I sort of knew engines expired like that, but I didn't know it was like that. That's pretty interesting.
With 4 tires on Rusty's car. He's now in 18th position. 15 laps off the pace. Show you the cars that are out of the race here at Dover. As we go to break, Graham Taylor, first car out. These cars are in the garage. Bill Elliott leads Ricky Rudd and Harry Gant.
That would be commercials. And music probably, so.
By Haviland Formula. Ricky Rudd running in second position here, and he's closed to within 3.6 seconds.
Okay, so Ricky Rudd is closing on Elliott.
He's picked up another 1/10 of a second.
136 laps to go.
5 here at Dover. 136 laps left to run here on the Monster Mile.
Okay, so Mark Martin fell a lap down.
7 cars on the lead lap now that Mark Martin has gone 1 lap down. Glenn Jarrett, Ricky Rudd is pulling up on Bill Elliott.
Well, he certainly is, Mike. This is Jerry Dehart, the crew chief on Ricky Rudd's number 5 Chevrolet.
It's crazy. I've been watching this for about 3 hours now.
Lately. Ricky looks like he's gaining on the leader now.
Yeah, we're running real good right now. We're running laps with the 11 car right now. We struggled a little bit earlier, couldn't get on the right tires.
The last race I reacted to, the Pocono one, it was around 3. Maybe once I was edited it and put it on YouTube, it was less than 3 hours. But man, this is probably the longest one I've reacted to. I don't remember how long the Bristol one was, but it's not as long as this one.
We'll have a new teammate in the Rick Hendrick stable next year. More on that in a moment. Here's Morgan Shepherd running in 5th. 6 cars on the lead lap. Check that 7 cars. Davey Allison, the last of those. Shepherd is 5th. Let's go to Steve Evans.
When I'm in the Morgan Shepherd pits, and Eddie, you got to be tickled just to be on the lead lap at this point. That's an accomplishment today.
Yeah, we've had a few problems today. We were our car doesn't seem to want to run until we get about 10 laps on it, and then had a little fire. We got to break that. Everything's going pretty good. The longer we run, the better we get.
He was having a real good race with that 18 car.
I didn't understand.
He was having a good race with the 18 car. Excellent.
Yeah, we was having a big time.
All right, now you've been timing him every time around with your watch. What does it tell you? How's he doing?
Right now, we're quicker than the leader, but, you know, we're about a half a lap down, so we got to come in and change tires about 4
Wow,
laps.
so Morgan Shepherd's
Okay,
running
like 4 laps.
5 times faster than Elliott.
We're getting close on pit stops here. Harry Gant has slowed down. There he is. Now his stablemate Rick Mast is in the pits. Left side tire change. And Gant, I thought maybe Gant might be headed for pit road, but no.
Like the motor did it, buddy.
Yeah, that's a bad
Wow,
sign
so
right there.
Gant,
When they stay out there
who
just
could
making
have
laps
passed
and
Alan
everybody
Quickie in
passes them,
points
it usually
here,
means they dropped the
may
valve
have
or
an engine
something of that
issue.
nature.
It sounded pretty bad when he came up the front straightaway the lap before. Looks like he jumped out there and got back in the throttle to see if it's going to run again. He picked the pace up a little bit.
Gant's the 3rd place car.
Well, Morgan's got by him now. So
That's right.
He's got a little bit of a problem.
And Kyle Petty comes to pit road. 40 miles an hour, the pit speed today. Glenn?
Kyle Petty slowly brings the 42 Mellow Yellow Pontiac in. They're going to the right side to change tires.
So far,
They're
this
also going to
stops
change the
pretty
left side
fast
tires. This
as
will
long
be
as
a
they
four-
can get to the
four
other side
tire
right
green
now.
flag stop. First can of fuel is in. Now the second can goes in. As of yet, they have not made a chassis adjustment on the car, so they must be trying to do it with staggered
That was a
tires
great
down
stop
in the
by
way.
them.
Good pit stop.
One of the fastest ones in the race so far.
Green flag pit stops again.
Right.
Kyle Petty coming back up to speed at turn 2.
When we start talking about stagger, I know the first thing the fans start thinking about is all the radial tire stuff and everything, but I think a lot of these teams have learned to work with air pressure now. When they go with this type tire, they change the air pressure a good bit and it affects the way the tire performs. We saw
Well, Davey Allison's
Bill Elliott
hit
just went
here.
by Davey turned down pit road.
So he's a lap
Davey,
down
who had
again.
gotten his lap back, is now back in the pit. Glenn?
Well, this is Randy Pemberton again. Randy, that looks to be a little bit early, maybe. Was there a problem?
No, my name's Robin. Randy's working the other end of the mic. That's all right. We were going to stop in the next 4 or 5 anyway. No problem. It's kind of... We just needed tires.
Okay, you just needed tires. They needed to come ahead and get them now. Sorry about that. That is Robin Pemberton.
There's
Well, that's
Davey
okay. I
Allison.
heard somebody on pit road a minute ago call you Jerry. That happens. 376 laps. And Morgan Shepherd has brought the Wood Brothers car to pit road.
The Shepherd's had a great
Shepherd
race.
almost won here in May. But a lug wrench malfunction.
Yeah, he was. Yeah, I was going to say he was doing well in the first
He did
over
not
race
get the
this
win.
season.
Now, see how he fares here. The Wood Brothers are the winningest car owners at Dover Down. 7 victories.
If we've ever seen it before, these next 2 laps are getting to be so crucial on pit stops. Not with these guys making them, but the guys that haven't made them. We've seen this happen twice today. Caution come out right after pit stop. Bill Elliott's still out there. What these folks right here hoping for is it goes green to Bill has to come in.
22-second stop. Yeah, Bill Elliott's not holding his breath right now. Drivers like Morgan Shepherd are.
Back real quick.
Because they've made their stop. You're exactly right. Will it stay green until Elliott has to pit? Mark Martin is on pit road. Remember, he's one lap down now in 6th place.
There's Harry Gant coming in the pit.
Gant's coming in, and Steve Evans is there.
All right, Harry Gant, the 33 car, rolls into the pit. These guys have been on their game all day. Few have performed better stops, looping the long nuts on the left-hand side. Tires already off on the right. 22 gallons of fuel, or as much as it will hold. It appears that it was a very thirsty automobile. But the economy this car has got should be interesting to see if they can go for distance like Hopkins can. We don't see any chassis adjustments whatsoever on the Oldsmobile, and Harry Gant is out of here.
21.7 seconds. A lot of these 4-tire stops right in the 22-second range. Gary Labonte in to make a stop. And Dale Jarrett coming on the pit road now. Dale had moved up to 3rd place in this round of stops. Third place car behind Bill Elliott and Ricky Rudd. Finished 27th here in the spring with engine trouble. Only finished in the top 10 once here in 12 starts. That was 6th in 1990. So headed for what could well be his best career finish at this racetrack today. Leader on pit road, Bill Elliott. Glenn Jarrett will be there as Bill Elliott brings the Junior Johnson Budweiser Ford to pit lane.
And Elliott comes to a stop well within his pit space there. Again, looks like a routine stop. There will be right side tires. They're loosening the left side lug nut. So it will be a 4-tire change. Cleaning the windshield. Putting in the fuel. Again, no chassis adjustment. So Elliott is evidently satisfied with the way this car is handling. Junior Johnson rolls that left front tire out to the tire change. Tim Brewer, he's down and away. That's an excellent stop.
20.9 seconds, and we'll see that difference show up on the racetrack. That'll put Ricky Rudd in the lead. First time Rudd has led today. He's the 7th driver to lead this race. It's the 11th lead change. 383 laps down, 117 to go. Here at the Monster Mile, Ricky Rudd temporarily in command. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Dover.
There's that music again.
Rudd comes to pit lane. Here's Steve Evans.
And he is going to get full service now. Get the cold drink, giving it all 4 tires, obviously as much fuel as it will hold. Earlier when I said maybe Yank could go the distance, I didn't realize how many laps were left. Which I'm sure they could at this point. So Ricky Rudd is doing a terrific job of the tires going in on the left-hand side. Hands up in the air.
This stop was a little slower than
About
Elliott's.
half a second longer than Elliott's, but still better than most on this round of stops. So we're at 111 laps to go. Now I believe everybody has stopped.
Yeah, they're still showing Rudd on the board, but Bill, we're seeing Elliott right here. Bill passed Rudd as he was coming out of the pits. And I think there's a little bit of confusion on the scoreboard here right now.
Bill just now became the leader as he came around to complete that lap. And Rudd would be the 2nd place car. They're showing Kyle Petty in 3rd, Morgan Shepherd 4th, Dale Jarrett 5th, and Davey Allison 6th. Seconds, 1st to 2nd. That would be Elliott to Rudd. 2.67 seconds. So it appeared that on the pit exchange, Bill Elliott did extend his lead just a bit. Not much. Let's have another look at Ricky Rudd coming back up to speed out of pit road here. And look for Elliott coming by.
There he goes. There goes Elliott. Rudd's probably still just in 2nd gear, getting it up through the gears. Elliott got the distance on him.
One of our questions, how long does it take to get back up to speed after pit stop? About 2.6 seconds.
What I would say.
That's the difference, 1st to 2nd. Here's Glenn.
Tim Brewer, that was an excellent pit stop. You waited till lap 385. Can you make it the rest of the way on fuel?
No, Glenn, we can't make it on fuel. It's hard as David Bill's running right now among themselves. I don't know what the rest of those guys are doing. You know, we're just kind of, we're focused on something else.
So, yeah, they're going to be short on fuel.
What about
So,
number 5? You told me what.
I mean, these pitted around the same time as Ricky Rudd did.
You know, we're
So,
not worried with the
if
time car right now.
Rudd was to save, it's probably going to be close.
Okay.
Maybe Rudd could win it if he saves enough, but at the same time, he pitted not long after Elliott did.
That's a weak down.
You know, he mentioned the 28 car. I was questioning also.
Davey Allison, too. I don't know if Davey Allison's trying to save. He's trying to get himself back up towards the leaders.
When he pitted, I thought he got back out front. I don't know if scoring's on or, well, I don't say he lost that much time.
I think we've got it now. It does take a while after green flag stops to make sure there are checks and double checks of scoring, make sure everything comes back up right. And what they are now telling us is that Bill Elliott is the race leader. Ricky Rudd is second. That Kyle Petty is third. Morgan Shepherd is fourth. That Dale Jarrett's in fifth place, and that Davey Allison is indeed back on the lead lap. He got out of the pits ahead of Bill Elliott as far as the time spent on pit road. And then Allison is in sixth, just behind Dale Jarrett. He's still on the lead.
Yeah, Allison's probably going to catch Jarrett in the next couple laps.
Tim Brewer said they're concerned about the 28 because they're looking at the stopwatch. They're seeing the 28 car and the 11 car turn the fast laps, and they're concerned about this car here. If a caution comes out, can Davey race him for the win? That's what they're looking at right now.
Riding with Davey Allison.
Smoke coming out of the car in front of him there.
Dale Jarrett.
Looks like a little whisper of smoke. Yeah, it's hard to tell. Looks like a little haze of smoke coming out right on the center of the car. Or is it my old eyes giving me trouble this late in the day, you think, Mike?
Bill Elliott, the race leader, moving in on Derek Cole, former winner here. 102 miles to go. As we watch Derek Cope, we asked his crew chief if there's one component the Monster Mile is hardest on.
I'd say the driver, you know. Mechanically, a car has to really be sound bumper to bumper, but running 500 miles up here, 500 laps, and being competitive, that's the most important component we have.
When Darrell Waltrip needs a part, he needs the...
Skip through these.
It's closed right up. Race leaders so far.
Wow, Bill Elliott's led
Bill Elliott
almost half the race.
Bonus points today for leading the most laps. It appears.
We were kind of joking about priorities. Although I would think the 11 crew is reevaluating the 5 car. He's really closed in on Bill, making big gains on him, buddy.
Yeah, they said they wasn't worried about him. I bet they are now.
Cars on the lead, laps 1 through 5. And Davey Allison, 6.
Oh, wow, Harry Gant's a lap down, too, now. Huh. That's kind of surprising.
Ken Musgrave could run today. He's the 10th place
But then
car.
again, there was reports about Harry Gant having some engine issues, but it looks like Ricky Rudd's catching Elliott, and it looks like Elliott's catching Allison.
Both ends in 1988 and in 1990.
If you notice Bill Elliott's car, they've all stepped it up a little bit. He's about to catch the 28 car of Davey Allison, so we got a gunfight coming up here pretty quick.
The way the race stands right now, Elliott's got a 10-point pickup on Allison, and he has led a lap and the most laps, while this man, Davey Allison, in 28, has yet to lead this race. No bonus points. But he just takes a spot away from Dale Jarrett. That's 5th place. And look who's right behind him.
Dale is right behind them.
A while ago, he was sitting there in a position where if the caution came out, he'd get that lap back, but it's getting threatening right now.
Elliott coming up to lap what is now the 6th place car of Dale Jarrett. 2 cars you don't see here are Kyle Petty in 3rd and Morgan Shepherd in 4th. Less than a second.
Oh, stopwatch ain't working real good, but I can see 3 car lengths.
You can count that one in car lengths, right?
I imagine Bill would like to have that lap on Davey if he possibly can without abusing the car. Got to get by Dale Jarrett first.
You know, that you hit it. That's the piece of business Tim Brewer was talking about. so much concerned about the 5 car, but getting Davey Allison a lap down. You think?
I would say. But they said they wasn't worried about Ricky Rudd. If I was in the 11 car, I'd be worried about him.
I would reevaluate my priorities in a hurry, I promise.
Looking back from Davey Allison and Dale Jarrett, Bill Elliott, and Ricky Rudd. Rick Mass on the inside there. To go.
You know, Bill, you know, Davey did this one. Davey ran up on Jarrett's car real quick while we took him a while.
Let's go. We might not see another yellow the rest of the race.
Just like we talked about earlier, you can't roll over and play dead. He's racing for positioned on the racetrack also. Looks like Bill's up under him back there behind Davey now.
I'm sure he don't want to go a lap down either. No, or another lap, you know.
He'd stay on the lead lap. Caution come out. He could win this thing.
If I'm correct, there's been 9 cautions. So, and my prediction was 8. There was that stretch of cautions before the lap 300 mark where there was 3 straight cautions in a row for wrecks.
413 laps complete.
Took out a lot of big names.
Kyle Petty is 3rd, Morgan Shepherd 4th. Back live at Dover Down.
I forgot about the
Linda Rudd using lap times for husband Ricky. Down to the side pit. Ricky tries to run down Bill Elliott. Took him a long time, though, to get past Dale Jarrett. Jarrett now a lap down in 6th place, so Elliott's lead has opened up a bit. That's how the points leaders are faring today.
Yeah, they've been showing this graphic a lot. I mean, it's not changed hardly at all. So I don't know why they keep showing it.
Bill Elliott looking to pad his point lead today. It's Sauter dropping a lap here. A lot of bent and broken cars working out there.
I want to increase the playback speed, but at the same time, should watch it at full or at regular speed. But I don't know if it would
those cars
mess
pretty well
things
beat
up.
Rick Mass had alternator trouble, we said earlier.
Yeah, it's just the words are too fast when you do it like this.
Jeff Bodine also running to try to pile up with the cut points. And Ernie Irvin, who had one of the quickest cars here, but is now
doesn't sound right either, so I'm just going to have to do it normal
Bill
speed.
Elliott leads by 0.8 of a second.
I probably should have drank a soda because, I mean, I'm drinking water and I was eating food and all that, but, man, I'm really tired right now.
Now the lap cars separating the 2 of them, that's about to change. Brett Bodine on the inside, now Bobby Hamilton. Hamilton's the 12th place car.
I'm wondering what they mean by super speedway, because Bill Elliott didn't win at Daytona or Talladega, so I don't know what they mean by super speedway. Maybe they mean like intermediate tracks, like 1.5 or 2 miles, because super speedway tracks, in my opinion, like some of them are considered like Daytona, Talladega, Pocono, Indianapolis, like those.
Well, I tell you what, you know,
I don't know what their definition of super speedway racing is.
You'll almost say, if you'll give me more gear, I just won't use it till the end of the race.
Oh, sure.
Oh, yeah, but I've told bigger stories about things like that.
You use it the first lap of the race.
That's right. They give it to you, you use it. So these crew chiefs, they've got these tachometers in the cars now that they can read by themselves with a telltale piece on it, and they know when you turn it too much, and they won't let you have that gear very often.
Well, we talked to Harry Hyde about that. He's been a crew chief for a lot of winning drivers on this circuit today. He's crewing the car driven by Dave Marcus, the Kellogg's machine. And we asked Harry Hyde,
another
the driver ever try to talk
second.
him into a lower gear ratio?
Oh, yeah, they'll con you anything you're big enough to go for. But this guy, Dave Marcus, wanted me to put in a collar gear. Now, that is a real reverse act. I never dreamed that he would ever want to pull a collar gear, but we left the one that we had and had a little bit of argument about going on thicker cars or 1 or 2 lappers, you know. I let him win that one, but I won the gear, so what the heck, I got 50% of the deal.
Skip ahead.
Behind the wall, but he's still putting points on the board. Marcus is 134 laps behind.
Good grief, 134 laps down.
In the top 20 today. Now,
And the top 20. Wow, that's pretty crazy. We're going to look at the results after the race. It's crazy. I mean, that was not uncommon because that did happen at times, especially back in the 80s and 70s, 60s. But for the 90s, that's kind of crazy.
I'll never forget, I went to Daytona, and you talk about gears. We were at Daytona, and 325 was a lot of gear to pull. We had a 333 in my car, and I went out and I just twisted the motor out of the frame. It blew up. Put another motor in, it blew up. The third motor, I said, Harry, you think we got the wrong gear in the car? He said, yeah, let's put a 340 in it. He even went lower. He said, if they can't take it, we need them out of the car.
You know, for some reason, we're on Days of Thunder a lot here today. That movie, most all the incidents in that movie actually happened to Harry Hyde, including the one where he was sitting on the pit wall having an ice cream, wouldn't let his driver come in.
I'll tell you another part of that story. When they talked about the guy, the only one that he hadn't hit was the pace car. That happened to be this guy sitting right beside me. Buddy Baker hit everybody on the racetrack at Martinsville. Did Harry call and tell you that?
Not.
He called Baker and said, go ahead and hit the pace car. It's the only thing you had.
That's right. They didn't have the lottery then. Oh, Ricky Rudd trying to chase down Bill Elliott here. We're in the closing stages. 66 laps to go. But there will almost certainly be one more pit stop. Now, in this last run of green flag racing, Rudd went 7 laps more than Elliott before stopping for gas. Steve Evans.
All right, if this race stays clean, the remaining laps, it will come down to the halves and the half laps of the fuel department. As car, Ricky Rudd. That's anything is by his calculations, they are 2.2 gallons short of going the distance. If they don't get a caution between now and lap 488,
Oh, I got a notification. Let's see what it is. I check on Twitch on my phone since I can't see the comment section.
Well, there might be some places where you take it easy and, save fuel, but we just get, I don't overemphasize the gear stuff, but you have to pull enough gear to run here, and it's hard to stretch.
It's not popping up, but I will check it out after the stream ends.
The guys that figure that are pretty accurate, or either pretty good liars, I'm not sure.
Man, I'm just tired, bro. I'm so tired right now. It's been a long one. God.
Leading a stop, he's the 22nd place car.
I think there's about 70 laps to go right now.
As the leader puts 437 on the board.
There goes Bill Elliott putting another lap on Mark Martin. That car has dropped off quite a bit.
Yeah, we heard the driver say it had nuclear meltdown. These things, when they start destruction, it's just internal, and it gets worse and worse and worse. I'm surprised it ran as well as it has up so long, buddy.
Yeah, you're right. And the other thing, you can always tell when a car's running well. They'll come off the corner and go right out in the groove. When they're running bad like Mark, he knows he had a lower line around the racetrack to stay out of the way.
Fourth place battle, Morgan Shepherd on the left of your screen. Davey Allison on the right.
These are big positions for Davey. Anybody he passes now, mainly whether he wins the national title or not.
He came into this race, Allison did, 134 points behind Elliott. Make that difference 144 now that Elliott has led the most laps.
Well, when we start talking this points thing, I'm just thinking about junior stuff.
Davey Allison is he's reeling in Shepherd for fourth.
Stretch their fuel mileage. They'll stay out. They get behind Davies, had them down a couple of races, and they stay out and catch a caution. Davies behind 100 points, and a lot of it is due to the pit work and the strategy Junior Johnson pit.
Yeah, and Allison's had a couple close calls. The wrecks earlier in the race, he narrowly missed a couple guys. I mean, nearly missed the 12th car of Purvis at one point, I want to say. And then the one with the Rusty
If the race
Wallace,
ended in the position
and
you're in right now, Elliott would leave here with a 164.
I want to say Breppodine, yeah, Breppodine and Ernie Irvin wreck. He barrely squeaked by that too on the restart.
When the sun hits this nasty windshield,
And the sun's just really blinding off turn 2.
That's got to be wearing on him pretty much too. And then he looks in the mirror and sees Bill Elliott still back here, leading the race.
Going past Jeff Bodine, who had a strong car here today, got caught up in one of the wrecks.
Looks like a little 4-leaf clover on the day.
He's going to get by him in the next couple of laps.
A little bit of luck here. Caution comes out. He's back in the lead lap. Drivers will try anything for change their luck. He's got that 4-leaf clover sitting there.
Plus, as Lucky Charms go, that doesn't weigh very much.
I never figured how 4-leaf clover or number 13 had anything to do with rods breaking and pistons flying out of them.
4-leaf clovers.
Somehow there seems to be a connection. Back in 1985, Bill Elliott enjoyed a 206-point lead in the Winston Cup standings at this stage of the season. But in just 4 races, Darrell Waltrip made up 236 points. To end Elliott's chances for the Winston Cup, he is the leader by 134 coming in here today, and he leads Ricky Rudd by 3.2 seconds.
I mean, it looks like Elliott could win this, but then again, he's supposed to pit one more time, and don't know how much fuel Rudd has.
At least for Ricky Rudd. Check on Elliott's fortunes here. Glenn?
Well, Mike, after Steve's report on the number 5 car saying they pit on lap 48, I asked Tim Brewer, Elliott's crew chief, what lap they were looking at. He just looked at me, wouldn't answer. He said, it's their call, pointing toward the number 5 pit. I said, well, they say lap 488. He looked at me and winked and said, I'll bet they're wrong. I'm not sure that they're not going to try to make it all the way. He's being awfully secretive, and how many times have we seen Bill Elliott get that awfully good gas mileage and win the race because of it?
Well, it doesn't look like he's trying to save.
He's doing it, you know, it's been stretching a long way because the 5 car actually went 7 laps further a while ago than Elliott. Their question is, here's David trying to get under the 21 car.
A good run on the bottom of the racetrack on Morgan Shepherd. This is for 4th place. And this pass is worth 5 points in the Winston Cup standings. Sounds like a game show, doesn't it?
Yeah.
For 5 points.
The only thing is a $1 million payoff in this game.
Yes.
He made that look pretty easy there, too, when he went by.
Let's run you down the top 10. 53 laps, 53 miles to go here at Dover.
53 to go.
Elliott, Rudd, Petty, Shepherd, and Allison.
Kind of a long race this has been. It's been quite crazy, though. Dale Jarrett's 6, okay.
Dale Jarrett's been black flagged to come to pit road. And they'll put tires on it while he's
Why'd they
there.
black flag him?
Smoke was showing from that car.
I saw smoke earlier. I just didn't want to keep
Is it because of excessive smoke or something? It's kind of odd. They usually didn't penalize people for that.
They brought him in to see what it is.
Now I can stand like parts hanging out the car, but I wonder what the smoke was like coming from.
Hasn't led this race, but he's had a strong run here.
Yeah,
today.
Petty's had a really strong race.
He'll get 4 tires and fuel. Glenn Jarrett?
Kyle Pitts has put the metal yellow Pontiac in for his final pit stop. Again, a 4-tire change, fuel being added, and no chassis adjustments being made on the car.
It's a fast pit stop. That was, I think that was almost the same exact timing as the last one he had.
Now, if you're Ricky Rudd or Bill Elliott, gas mileage question aside, if all these other cars come in and get fresh tires, do you have to come in?
I think they'll sit there and look at the stopwatch and let those tell the stories, how much they're losing or gaining.
Bill Elliott following Morgan Shepherd, the 4th place car. The Goodies 500 is next Sunday in Martinsville, Virginia, on Clay Earl's beautiful
Short track in Martinsville, short track North Spokes Road, then there's Charlotte, Rockingham, Phoenix, and Atlanta.
On to Charlotte, has the weekend off before CNN is on the air at Rockingham with the AC Delco 500. We'll also be in Phoenix, High Royal 500, and the season concludes.
I might react to this one or this one. And I've already seen the Hooters 500 in the championship race, so I will not be covering that.
Here's Elliott trying to put a lap.
And my race recaps I usually do after every race that I watch from this season. But
Sunday, October 25th, we'll be live from Rockingham, 12:30
if people do want to recap, then I'll make one.
492 laps around the rock. Dale Jarrett has been black flagged again by NASCAR.
And Dale Jarrett can't catch a break. They just keep black flagging
On
them.
the weekend of the Hooters 500, Richard Petty's final race as a driver. It'll be a great Petty fan celebration that Saturday night. They've rented the Georgia Dome. Randy Owen and Alabama will play. TNN, for all the Petty fans that can't squeeze into the Georgia Dome, will be there. We'll bring that event to you live Saturday night, November 14th, 7 p.m. Eastern Time. Join us right here on TNN for the celebration. It's bound to be a big one.
They just black strike Dale Jarrett again. Whatever the problem is, he must be losing a lot of fluid on the racetrack.
I noticed when he pitted, the inspector walked over in the pit area and put his foot out on the ground and was stirring around some oil. So if he's putting down oil like that,
And Jarrett's next win, if I'm correct. He had won at 91 in Michigan, but his next win was 1993 Daytona 500, I think, was, you know, this is the first win for Joe Gibbs Racing.
Still performing there. He's got a leak.
He was the 7th place car, 1 lap down at the time of this stop. That'll move Terry Labonte.
But if I'm wrong, just let me know down in the comments.
Put up.
The only thing you can hope for here is if a breather's loose or valve cover gasket or something like that, tighten it up or something. But if this keeps doing, it's going to be hard to fix unless it's something minor.
38 laps to go.
Shooting it off some brake clean just to clean the excessive amount of oil off the engine, just see if it keeps smoking.
Yeah, if that's oil getting on a header pipe or a locker gasket, that'll temporarily
That's a really slow stop.
Stop the leak.
Dang, he got penalized,
This
so.
race as Jarrett comes back in the action. Second place car, Ricky Rudd, will have a new teammate over at Hendrick Motorsports next season.
Yes, he will. Jeff Gordon and the Hendricks Motorsports people had a
Yep,
get together
Jeff
yesterday
Gordon,
to
24 Rainbow Warriors.
announce that DuPont would be the new sponsor for them.
So DuPont comes with the
Their first race was in the Hooters 500, the season final in Atlanta.
Davey Allison had moved up to 3rd. Now he makes his final pit stop of the day. So Neil, as we surmise, those cars getting fresh tires didn't make enough of a difference, at least to bring Allison in.
Yeah, I think that they're going to see. We heard the guys talking about hard tire compounds and all. We heard them talking about they're going to Morgan Shepherd at the same time. They're going to be so much faster. They're about going to have to go with them.
So Shepherd is in, and the famed Wood Brothers crew goes to work.
Looks like they're going to do left side only. They're not coming around the right side. We've seen everybody else do 4 tires. They're going to do left sides and turn him loose, it looks like.
That smoke you see there is brake smoke. That's not anything
Oh, he
wrong.
stalled it.
Motor died on it.
Alright, he's back
Quick
on.
stop, 13.9 seconds for Morgan Shepherd.
That's a good call. They were getting beat by Davey Allison, so they got him 7 seconds there by just doing left side.
That will move Kyle Petty up perhaps as much as 3rd. Now he lacked a lap on Shepherd's car. So we'll check that next time by. Kyle showing it as Davey Allison 2 laps down to the race leader, Elliott and Rudd, who did not pit.
Yeah, while they're running right here, I see the black flag going back out on the 18 cars. People are concerned. Jarrett, they're black flagging him again.
Golly, why they keep black flagging the 18? I know he has smoke, but I mean, it's getting
It's
ridiculous.
hard to believe that the 2 lead cars can run 35 more laps than anybody else. I think they'll have to stop.
There has to be a stop for Elliott and Rudd.
For fuel, or were they stopping for tires? When they made those green
If
flags?
I were Rudd, I mean, I'd be
smoke pouring from Dale Jarrett's car, and
I'd be close, like,
you get 3 laps
to get
obey that
closer
black
to
flag.
Elliott.
The rule is after 3 laps,
If you're
NASCAR
in,
picks
like,
up
right
the
towards the
scorecard.
end, the gamble would be to just do gas only, because it would make up more time, but also, I don't know if, like, Bill Elliott would be taking gas only either.
Again, wave the black flag. So we expect Dale Jarrett in here momentarily as he goes to 3 laps to a band. We can see all
Are they
the
holding
oil
for
on
3
the
laps? That's
tarmac
crazy.
right in front of
If
us.
he was having such a good race, I mean, he was up there in the top 10.
Finish this thing, but NASCAR
Now
will
he's
be
going to
very,
be out of
very
the top 10 probably. Now he's
We'll see if we
being
can,
held, and may have an engine issue. That may be why it's smoking so much.
valve cover gasket any number of things that could cause oil to run out of an engine. You really can't tell. It's on the left-hand side of the car, apparently, and they got plenty of hands in there trying to fix it, guys.
As that goes on, Terry Labonte makes a stop for 4 tires.
12:30 at night now, and
trying to hold that
not many laps left in this race.
Down pit road a little quickly, got held.
It's been a
Hamilton
long stream, but I've enjoyed watching this race, even though I'm about to fall asleep.
Rather, Morgan Shepherd and Harry Gant are being posted up as 2 laps back of the leader. So Elliott and Rudd, and remember, they have not made pit stops. They are now 2 laps out in front of Kyle Petty, Harry Gant, Morgan Shepherd, and here comes Harry.
And we do know he gets good gas mileage.
You know, earlier in the race, we seen him pull the inside and slow down. He's been running inside and inside, but he's still standing up in the lead.
Yeah, he's only 2 laps back, so, you know, he's still running well.
Gant was the 4th place car at the time of this pit stop. He is on a lap with Kyle Petty, Morgan Shepherd, and Davey Allison. Four tires, fuel, and oil. 26 laps to go. 22nd stop for Harry Gant. Bill Elliott and Ricky Rudd on the lead lap. The rest of the top 5 now 2 laps down. Kyle Petty, Morgan Shepherd, Davey Allison.
Everyone else 2 laps down, man. It looks like Bill's coming in.
Moments ago, Bill Elliott brought the Budweiser Ford of Junior Johnson into the pit. And as you'll see here, took on 4 tires and fuel.
Okay, so they're going for 4, so Rudd's going to be staying out a little bit longer. Rudd needs either 2 tires and gas or just gas only here.
And here comes Rudd. What do you
This
think,
could
buddy?
win the race here.
Tires or will he stand pat?
We're going to see if they're good poker players. We're going to see. Are they going to try to outrun him or out-strategy?
I can't help but think you'd have to gamble and go with gas only. You don't need but a couple of gallons. Put some gas in there and send him
gas
on the way.
only.
They had the luxury of seeing the 4 car lose. Put 4 tires on.
Yep.
And it
3-second stop. That might put him out far enough ahead.
Bill Elliott took around 20. The question is, that 17 seconds that Rudd saved on pit road, can Elliott make that up on the racetrack with fresh tires?
Boy, oh boy. I don't think he has time, do you, Neil?
No, but they about went the way they had to.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be tough for them to make up all that time.
Tires and take them on, and then their only call was, to put fuel in the car and see if they could make it. No doubt, this car was
Fuel mileage classic on a short track if there's that many cars on the lead lap. Or hardly any, at least.
6.37 seconds. Wow. Is the difference.
Well, we got a cliffhanger ahead of us.
19 laps to go. Is a 6-second lead going to be enough? Dale Jarrett being black flagged again.
They're black flagging him for the 5th time in a row now?
Well, let's check with Steve
If I was Dale Jarrett, I'd be mad. I would just pull it off the track. Or I would go to NASCAR about it, because that's ridiculous. 5 times in a row.
He's got 4 tires. That's probably second half of lap. He's got like 20 laps to go.
Boy, this is going to be one exciting finish. This stays great.
5 seconds, first to second. Elliott.
Okay, Elliott's cut it down to 5.
It might have been Ricky's 5th, if not his only chance to win the race.
It was his gamble, and the other thing, how much will Elliott hurt his tires trying to catch up to him? If he burns his tires up, he'll be on used tires when he gets up there, too.
We're seeing him knock off at least a half a second a lap right now. But that should happen for 4 or 5 laps.
And look at the traffic, Neil, that Elliott has to deal with.
Yep. And,
we got traffic, and there's Morgan Shepherd, who's 2 laps, or 1 lap or 2 laps now, I don't even know at this point.
16 laps to go. Will Elliott win his 5th Dover race? Will Rudd win his 3rd? Will it be somebody else? Jimmy Hensley makes a pit stop, and the gap holds 5 second first to second place. We'll be right back. In Ricky Rudd's pit, they anxiously clock the interval. It's down to 4 seconds. From this man, back to Bill Elliott.
4 seconds, I mean,
4 tires. Rudd,
Elliott could catch him here.
He had taken on 4 tires. He'd be back behind Elliott with a slim chance of catching him. This way, he has the lead, and it's Elliott on fresh tires who has to play catch-up.
Okay, so Kyle Petty's the only other car in the league lap. There's Allison, Shepard, and 1.
That half-second lap, it comes down to a photo finish. It's going to be awful close right here at the end.
Now, Rudd's tires are not worn out. It's just that new tires, fresh tires, are faster than worn tires. Those tires have been on Rudd's car for 100 miles now.
But this boils down to Bill Elliott doing 10 laps perfect. If he makes a mistake, it'll cost him the race.
10 to go. 2.88 seconds.
And the traffic. You know, we've talked about traffic repeatedly. We've seen just one lap car be able to hold you up for 2 or 3 car lengths, and that's going to be the difference if Elliott can reel him in or not.
Kyle Petty is third. With the pit stops by the 2 leaders, Kyle is back on the lead lap. Davey Allison is fourth. Morgan Shepard is fifth.
Down to 2.5
Terry Gant is
seconds.
sixth, 3 laps back. Terry Labonte seventh. Ted Musgrave is eighth. Derek Hope is up to ninth. And
Ricky
Bobby
Rudd's
Hamilton
crew
now
is
10th.
probably just like, they're just crossing their fingers right now. Like,
Bill Elliott is beginning
please,
to see Rudd.
either
When he first started, he was on
a caution come out with 2 to
He's
go,
seeing Rudd now. He's got a
or
gauge
1 to
work
go,
with, and it really makes a difference
or
to see who you're looking
just
for
that
out there.
the lap cars will hold up Elliott.
I won a race in Talladega. I was running Earnhardt. Once I got to
But, I mean, Rudd's
Rudd's
car in the second half of the race was way better than it was in the first half, and I mean, he's had a great race, and the crew worked together well, they strategized it well, and
7 to go.
they got to the front when it mattered, and when they needed to, so, you know, big props to them. They could hold off Elliott here. They would get the win. He's second win of the season, I think.
That's where when we go back a while ago, we said Rudd went 7 more laps.
You can tell how much faster Elliott's car is.
See what the 11 did first, and then to make their call. So stretching the mileage earlier might pay off right now.
5 laps to go.
Golly, down to 1.9. Man, he might catch him. We'll see.
Similar situation.
5 laps to get him.
Catching the man leading that race is one thing, but can you beat him?
Rudd's now just like mirror driving sort of probably. He's like, oh, I need to look and see how far back he is, but also I'm pushing the gas and I'm going as hard as I can to get the win.
1.6, 2 to 3 tenths a lap. Elliott's picking up about a quarter second a lap. He's going to be right at Rudd's bumper when they take the white flag.
And the bad part is they're calling out lap times. He knows he's catching him like that. There's nothing they can do about it.
Here's Rudd coming up on a lap car. He's going to have to clear everybody real clean. There he goes. He gets around and Rick Mass moves over. 1.1 second. 3 laps to go.
He's coming down the wire here. He might see a close finish.
Eddie Dickerson, formerly Rusty Wallace's crew chief, moving over to help out on the Ricky Rudd car.
It's getting interesting.
Look at the gap shrink.
Look at the traffic right here. Just what Rudd doesn't need.
We got traffic.
Race in Dover history, 1989. Dale Earnhardt beat Mark Martin by 28/100ths of a second, just about 3/10ths of a second. Rudd by Ted Musgrave is falling from the pace. And he'll be facing the white flag this time. Elliott coming as hard as he can.
1 to go.
If Rudd doesn't slip or have a problem,
here we go.
Looks like he's going to be able to hold Bill off, but he's going to really
He might be able to just hold him off.
Linda Rudd hasn't been to victory lane since April of 1991 with her husband. And this
Elliott's going to run out of time. Still a little far back. If he had 2 more laps, he would have caught him.
Back straight away. Elliott so close he can taste the win, and he hasn't won since the 5th race of this season.
And here is Rudd with the win.
Flag
Wow.
Ricky Rudd wins the Peak Antifreeze 500.
Big W for them. Big W.
Career Winston Cup victory.
My sauce, but yeah, Ricky Rudd picks up the win. What a race that was. Just so many twists and turns, and a lot of good cars get taken out in wrecks. And Elliott dominating in the second half. Mark Martin had a strong car for the first half, and Rudd using strategy to get the win. We saw a lot of drivers like Kyle Petty and Irving come back from what they did and get up towards there. And Davey Allison, too, had a big performance.
First win for Rick Hendrick's cars in 1992 as well. Well, last week it was Rusty Wallace breaking a 34-race winless streak. It's been a while since Ricky Rudd's been to victory lane.
Yeah.
And Steve Evans will be in victory lane. To greet Ricky Rudd, there's Linda. The team coming in.
There's the victory lane.
Let's go to victory lane.
Ricky, boy, you were like a mouse. You didn't make a peep that last 12 laps.
Oh, I tell you, it seemed like the longest lap he's ever run. I was just praying, and finally when it came through, we were lucky.
Yeah, he did a magnificent job of driving. In fact, the whole crew did a terrific job. Real racing. We can just get him out of the car in a second. I'm sure we will.
I'm sure he's exhausted. I mean, they said pre-race the temperature was 75 degrees, which is pretty warm for Dover, Delaware, at the time of year that they were racing.
He has a natural-born talent. Rudd coming out of the car. It's been a long time since we have seen this in victory lane. Ricky Rudd, you have won it.
Well, I think we stole it. You know, Bill had the car again, but, you know, we'll take it any way we can get it.
Yeah, that was a good call by them. I mean, just going for gas only. If Elliott had only done 2 tires or just gas only, he would have won. But yeah, Rudd picks up his 3rd win in Dover, and you know that was good strategy.
We've had some problems during the year, but I tell you, they won the race hands down. It wasn't done on the racetrack.
Did you know how quickly Bill Elliott was coming on you?
Well, I could see it in the rearview mirror. You know, I'm sure those guys sat down and calculated it out, and they knew it was going to be close. That was the only chance we had, and that was a heck of a call.
Was indeed. Let's go to Glenn Jarrett. Glenn?
Well, thanks, Steve. We've got Gary Dehart here. As Ricky Rudd said, he owes this all to the pit crew. So, on behalf of Miller Genuine Draft, you guys win the pit crew award for this race. That was a great call, Gary.
I tell you what, this goes to the guys. All the guys helped. You know, they worked hard, and we had some serious pit strategy going on in the pits. Everybody was involved in it, and it was come out today for us real good.
Well, as I said earlier, you guys have been getting stronger and stronger and stronger. You're now a force to be reckoned with.
Hey, buddy. Hey, we feel like we're getting better every week, and this is just going to help us a whole lot.
They have gotten better as the season goes on. That's true. Well, I mean, that'll do it for the race. I mean, we're gonna look in a few. We'll look at the statistics of the race, but to give this race a rating, I mean, if I watched it like in the morning or in the afternoon, I wouldn't be as tired. But I mean, regardless, it was a great Dover race. It was, I'd say, maybe was a little better than the first one from earlier on this season. I mean, just the passing, the restarts were insane. There was that one period where there's just a bunch of unnecessary wrecks at once, and there was a lot of long green flag runs, but I mean, I thought the race was really good. I mean, we saw some bumping at times, Dale Earnhardt bumping people out of the way. But yeah, it was a good classic race, and the next race up that I'll be watching as I continue watching each race in 1992 season will be the second one at Martinsville. But before I end the video and the stream tonight, let's look at some statistics here. So, 9 cautions, 13 lead changes. The average speed was 115. I think they said the record was 120. 4 hours, 20 minutes. Well, the video was less than that because it was edited. Okay, so, yeah, Kyle Petty, Davey Allison, 4th. Terry Labonte actually got 7th. That's surprising because he was so far back, but because of all the problems and stuff everyone had, 4 laps down 7th. They'll take it. Ted Musgrave, Derek Koch getting 9th, and Bobby Hamilton in 10th. That's pretty crazy. You see, I mean, a lot of cars lap down. It was a long, long race, so a lot of cars are there. Bill Elliott leading over half of the race. 261 laps led. Mark Martin finished 19th. He had some engine issues, and Dale Earnhardt, he had got involved in a wreck. He led 82 laps. Jim Sauter, even though he spun at one point, he finished 18th. Michael Waltrip had some problems. He finished 17th. Yeah, I mean, Dale Jarrett also getting 5 black flags towards the end of the race. I thought it was kind of ridiculous, but, you know, Jeffrey Bodine got in a wreck, but he still finished 14th. Yeah, let's see here. What happened? So, Graham Taylor apparently quit. This is what they said here. Only 3 laps in. But, yeah, Marlin, he replaced Schrader, but Schrader, in the Schrader car, he wrecked. Yeah, just a lot of interesting things we saw in this race tonight. And look at how many cars are involved. That one backstretch crash on lap 278. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 cars were in that. Yeah, I mean, that was quite an interesting race, and the wrecks were much more than I thought they were going to be. So, heading to Martinsville, Bill Elliott has a 154-point lead over Davey Allison. Then there's Gant moving past Allison by Quickie in the 3rd. And Mark Martin 5th, Kyle Petty 6th, Rudd 7th. I'm surprised Earnhardt's still 9th in points. I thought he did lead laps, but I thought he'd be farther down. Rusty Wallace 13th. Ted Musgrave moved up to 18th. That's kind of crazy. But yeah, that's probably going to do it for this video. I mean, and for this stream. Appreciate everyone that has watched this all the way through, and everyone that did watch this. And if you're new again to the channel, I encourage you to please like and subscribe. I'm on the road to 500 subs, and yeah, I'm about to hit the bed. Pretty tired. But anyways, I hope you all have a great night. See you.